It's that old Inquisition whose root in mind and me. So blind to justice, the mom is out to settle the score. Rise up, scream out, protest. More, more, more. But don't you know the tyrant in you is a tyrant in me? And you just set him free. Where's the liberty? Where's the liberty? Where's the liberty? The trick is so ancient, the book is covered in dust. It's that trusty declaration, the people must do what they must. So deaf to reason, the crowd marches to the drum. As the silver tongue one scream out, Defy for fun. But don't you know the tyrant in you is the tyrant in me? And you just set him free. Where's the liberty? Where's the liberty? Where's the liberty? The fear is so timeless, it's stuck in the base of your brain. It's that old time religion, remember the good old days. So daft to freedom, the rabble in the zero chains. And with gilded hope and love, they give themselves a reins. But don't you know the tyrant in you is the tyrant in me? And you just set them free. Where's the liberty? Where's the liberty? Where's the liberty?
in the states of Montana, Missouri, and North Dakota. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. Did you know the current national average turn time to close on a mortgage is 48 business days? But not at Alabama Home Mortgage. At Alabama Home Mortgage, our average close time is 16 business days. That's a month faster than the rest. How do we do it? With over 60 years of combined experience in the industry. Our team knows mortgages. Our years of experience yield a better experience for our customers. Folks, time is money. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, don't waste time with another mortgage company, bank, or credit union. We close on time, every time. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our fast turn time is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
Taxes was feeling unwelcome. Now Taxes is an open door, literally, to new TurboTax stores. Meet our experts in person.
Hi, welcome in.
They're powered by smart tech and ready to do your taxes for you. Get real-time updates while you go about your day. Confident your taxes are done right. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. TurboTax stores opening soon. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $700 plus get a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
We live in the Southeast. We drink sweet tea. We don't drink socialist Kool-Aid. Yeah.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Beautiful day out of Montgomery, Alabama. Coming up a little later in the program, we have Councilman Andrew Dismantling for his monthly top five. And I have to begin by admitting I was wrong yesterday about some of this Epstein stuff. I was queuing off Speaker Mike Johnson in particular. I was thinking the Senate would add amendments, would kind of poison pill, if not do something to this, call to release the Epstein files. Instead, the Senate unanimously passed it. Trump expected to sign the bill releasing the Epstein files today. This is all moving backwards on the Democrats. Their email of Hakeem Jeffries requesting donations from Epstein, while Thomas Massie continues to make, take victory laps. So joining us to talk about this and much more, we have the one, the only Jeff Poor, host of the Jeff Poor Show, and he's editor-in-chief there at 1819news.com. How you doing today, Jeff?
Doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I was wrong yesterday because watching Mike Johnson and also watching Thomas Massie, both of them seemed to think the Senate was going to do some funny business with this. Johnson, I guess, was hoping for the funny business. Massie was not. And they passed this unanimously. Are you surprised by this, or is this just a matter of after Trump said, I don't care anymore, just pass the damn thing, that it was meant to be?
I'm not, I wasn't surprised, but once the House had the vote total it had, with one dissenting vote, it would be hard for any of the senators to, put up much of a fight on that. And I think the House margin gave the Senate cover not to do what a lot of us had expected them to do.
Yeah, and as I'm sitting here thinking of winners and losers, I don't think it's a clear win for the parties in either way. I mean, you've been speaking a lot to this. Have not the Democrats' attempts here been just ended up lame? Like they haven't stuck to Trump, well, I don't think at all.
No, I don't think they have either. Look. Here's what I think though, that they took what should have been an L. 10 years ago. We've been talking about Epstein for how long now?
Months.
It was always kind of a decade, but it was always kind of thought to be just this kooky right wing, something you only hear on like Rush Limbaugh or Sean Hannity or whatever. The media is not taking this stuff serious. This is just wishful thinking from Republicans. And I think, what should have come out of it never did. They held it off. They were dismissive of it over and over and over again. And then, when Democrats discovered, wait a second, Republicans, they have some infighting here that we could exploit over this, is when they got interested. And then when they really got interested was when they took the loss on the government shutdown. Like, this will drive a wedge between Republicans. And, like you said, it's not a clear W for anybody, but I think they took something that ought to have been very embarrassing for Democrats. And some of these Democrats are has-beens, long gone, the Larry Summers and guys like that of yesteryear. But they took something that could have been potentially embarrassing for the Democratic Party and made it. They made lemonade out of lemons, and it could have got a lot worse for them. I believe that, and you look at them, and Republicans let them do this.
Yeah, and I think that's correct. They at least got it to a draw in terms of the fallout for themselves. Though we'll see whatever the heck's in there too. Maybe something will. We'll put egg all over somebody's face. Though I will say, if I look at individuals, I think there are some winners and losers. I think Mike Johnson looked really weak out of this. In fact, after the Senate voted last night, a reporter caught him in the hallway there in the Capitol building, and Johnson just looked like a man ready to be hanged. Like he looked completely flabbergasted. And then Thomas Massie, I think, is a clear winner out of this. That it's very rare somebody who's not a team player, not exactly popular within his own party, takes on President Trump head to head and ends up getting what he wants.
Yeah, and I think Johnson was just kind of doing what Trump wanted. Now, we'll never know Trump's reasons for being reluctant on this, and why give these guys a free shot on goal? Well, if you're aware of Republican Party politics, especially from the base, you're aware of what this Epstein saga meant. And all this could have been avoided, if he hadn't gone and said, Epstein, why are you talking about Epstein? Or whatever. And that raises red flags. Maybe he didn't mean to, but he should have thought about that, number one. And then just number two, if this were really something that was going to drive that wedge, I mean, the vote in the House showed that it was really kind of a no-brainer for everybody. And if they were going to get near unanimous vote totals in both chambers, well, they should have done this a lot sooner.
Yeah, and thinking about Thomas Massie on this, he's the obvious heir apparent to libertarians for Ron Paul in the Congress. And I'm almost wondering, are we going to see Thomas Massie 2028? Not even in the sense of Massie will win the presidency. I mean, crazier things have happened. But more that he could be a very competitive almost spoiler, pop 8%, pop 10% in early primaries, get your ideas out there very early on. And it just seems like this guy has raised a crap load of money out of this. His name ID continues to climb out of this. And there are a lot of folks that don't fit the Republican or Democrat mold that might get behind him. For instance, I saw Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn talking about Thomas Massie, and we need to have him on, and they need to stop picking on him. It just seems like this guy is primed to do something that's fairly rare in politics because everybody usually is a team player.
Yeah, he's the Ron Paul of our era, right? And I think it goes maybe a little better for him than it did for Representative Paul. He raised a lot of money. He was able to get some delegates It also kind of impact like you said, the election over time. If he were to get in, I think I wouldn't be surprised if he had the same kind of following. It's just that, is it, what are you playing with house money here? Would it be worth it? Maybe it would be, but we kind of know a lot of these ideas. This is one of those times, Joey, when the Massie wing gets a W, and those are few and far between.
They really are. So it's a fascinating thing. Again, folks, always I love reminding them of the Trump coalition that gave the landslide victory in 2024. A lot of traditional Republicans, conservatives, no doubt, and the original folks on the Trump train when he came down the golden escalator. But it was a broad swath of folks, I think, who had never voted for the GOP or libertarian types as well. And the fight over the heart and soul of the Republican Party, I mean, we're already seeing it with the infighting other than the Epstein stuff in the last few months. I think that's only going to continue to heat up. Though, I don't know, as I'm handicapping this, it looks like potentially J.D. Vance is the front runner. And on that note, did you see the fascinating thing Jonathan Karl said of ABC at a sit down where it was behind the scenes talk of who should Trump pick as his vice president? And a lot of the more establishment, like Lindsey Graham, wanted Marco Rubio because everybody loves Marco and pick Marco. People like Tucker Carlson and a few others, Don Jr., were saying, no, go with J.D. Vance. And in particular, Tucker was saying, go with somebody the establishment doesn't like, because if they go with, Marco, they love Marco, they'll kill you. And by the way, this was said before Butler. So it's fascinating to see that the divide has always been there and everybody gets hunky-dory and all together for election day. But what do you make of this kind of heart and soul fight for the Republican Party going forward?
The VP selection in 2016 with Mike Pence was, you had the sort of Ted Cruz wing that was still, bitter about the primary and the way that played out. And I think he looked at it, and you didn't need to woo that side of the Republican Party with a Marco Rubio pick at the time. And they were on board, maybe reluctantly, but it was a situation where Trump had command of the party. He had command of the party, and they had to play ball with him, or they would have no support within the Republican base. And I think the J.D. Vance pick, and I remember, it was the Don Jr. sort of crowd that was really, really pushing him. Remember the slime job they did on Kristi Noem with the dog, and then all. I mean, all of that was sort of part of this. But when it came down to it, I guess that the thinking there was a couple of things, that maybe you looked at a Midwestern guy, and that's where you needed to take down the blue wall, the so-called blue wall of Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan, and a guy from Ohio seemed to be more of that brand. But number two, you really galvanize support within your own base, and these are people that may, maybe they were disappointed with the first Trump go-around, but they certainly came out in 2024. And it really, I think, worked out. But I don't know. I mean, if let's play this out though, Joey. What if Marco Rubio had been the pick? What would the world look like today? What would the election outcome have looked like?
It's hard to know. I think as soon as Trump got shot in the ear and survives that assassination attempt, he was going to win. That just changed everything, no matter who his running mate was. So I think he still would have been president. But I think Vance is one of the more effective communicators I've seen in a long time. So is Rubio. But I think Vance has a different perspective that is more at heart with the populist movement than Rubio. So I tend to like him being more the heir apparent instead of let's keep the Ted Cruz's and the Lindsey Graham sort of philosophy going here within the GOP. It was Trump nodding to a different, more populist future. So I like it.
It was kind of a stroke of genius. I mean, Rubio, you're right, comes from that wing, and he puts him in. That is a coveted spot, Secretary of State. Seems to keep it really made those guys happy. You keep those guys off your back. Not that they needed it. Trump did try to do some of this in his first term with Elaine Chao, with Tillerson, and it didn't really work. But with Rubio, and that was my concern. Like, okay, is this just going to be Trump throwing bones to these guys? But they've really managed the expectations with foreign policy. You still have those. I mean, we do have a fight for the heart and soul of the party right now, and a lot of it has to do with Israel.
Oh, yes.
But I think it's about as going about as well as, because you're going to have these divisions always within Republican circles about the Israel question, I believe. But I think it's going about as well as they can manage it.
Now, and I guess my final question, because I was seeing clips of him earlier today, and this gets to I think part of the heart of what we're talking about here. So I saw Lindsey Graham on Sean Hannity say, "I'm going to sue the pants off Jack Smith, his pants right off." And how does somebody like Lindsey Graham continue to survive? I guess there is some raw talent and charm and charisma going on there, for better or for worse. But how does that sort of Republican who, he's been on the wrong side of Trump. I remember he wasn't with Trump until the whole Brett Kavanaugh thing. How does that guy continue to survive up there in Washington, D.C.?
South Carolina is going to do. I mean, look how long Strom Thurmond was in the United States Senate.
Yeah.
They have they have two senators, and sort of like Alabama in some ways, where if you think of Lindsey Graham more like Richard Shelby, except maybe with a more of a show pony kind of streak than Shelby had. But they're just sort of that familiarity and the local politics there. Graham really gets things done in the state that wins him favor with those people. And then all you got to do, you win your state over and over and over and over again. You accrue that seniority, and that's why he is where he is. Yeah, and it's just, I like that descriptor. Lindsey Graham, show pony. I think that's fitting. Well, I always appreciate your time, Jeff. If folks want to check out what you're writing about, thinking about, how can they do so? X.com/Jeff_Poor, or you can always check out 1819 News, 1819news.com. Appreciate it. Talk again soon. Again, that's Jeff Poor, folks, and always appreciate his insights and his time. This part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting, and they're at River Region Contracting, Todd Clark, and that great team of his are ready to help you with that roof of yours. Now, it could be you don't really have an issue other than you haven't had your roof inspected in a long time. That's when you're playing with fire. Maybe you don't have an issue at all, but if you haven't checked, you don't know. And when you let a problem fester for a long time, that's when it gets more expensive to fix. And when your insurance company that you've been paying into for years is going to fight you and say you were negligent, you should have checked this out earlier. So instead, go with River Region Contracting. You might as well get annual inspections done. Why? Well, because their inspections are always free. And if they find an issue, they're estimates. They will write up an estimate for free, and it's accurate. They show up on time, get the job done well. And again, if you find that issue earlier, it's going to be much quicker to fix, or it could be it's time. You're 10, 15, 20 years into a home, time for a new roof. Of course, they can help you out. Again, that's whether it's an asphalt shingle roof or a metal roof. They can help you there at River Region Contracting. Just get in touch with them direct today at 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell Todd Clark and the great team there that Joey, that fella on the radio, sent you. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Big news! Phillips Dunn Animal Hospital has a new name. But don't worry, everything you love is still the same. Now they're Pike Road Animal Hospital, still at 5148 Troy Highway, still the same great team you've trusted for years. Same friendly faces, same expert care, just a new name, and still offering boarding, grooming, and doggy daycare. Pike Road Animal Hospital, formerly Phillips Dunn Animal Hospital. New name, same heart. Compassion you know, care that you trust.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. What is a smart way to buy a house in today's market? Now is a good time to buy since we now have a more balanced market than we've had in years. Here are the steps. First step, get pre-qualified with an experienced local lender. It costs you nothing to find out firsthand whether you can qualify for a home and how much that home loan will cost. Second step, hire a local realtor with lots of experience that can guide you, advise you, and be your advocate. We call those buyer agents. Third step, decide what your wants and needs have to be. bedrooms, baths, floor plan, location, and skill zones. Fourth, ask your realtor to line up homes that fit your price category and your location needs. Fifth, start actually looking inside these homes and see what is available and the cost of each property. For all of this information and step-by-step approach, call Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
I'm Jim Smith with Adams Drugs. At Adams Drugs, we offer a wide variety of services, including delivery, compounding, wellness clinics, and immunizations. Now is the time to visit any Adams Drugs location and get your flu shot. Getting an annual flu shot can help prevent you from getting the flu, reduce the severity of symptoms if you get the flu, and prevent serious complications such as hospitalization and death. Getting your flu shot at Adams Drugs protects you from getting sick, but it also makes sure that those around you, especially those at high risk, remain safe. Each year, up to 49 million people in the U.S. contract the flu. Depending on the flu virus's severity, deaths as a result of flu complications could skyrocket to 79,000 people nationwide. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for a location nearest you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Three-time Grammy-nominated blues rock superstar Joe Bonamassa is coming to the Montgomery Performing Arts Center on November 30th. And News Talk 93.1 has your tickets to the show. Be listening to Greg, Rich, and Jay in the morning for your chance to win. It's Joe Bonamassa live at the Montgomery Performing Arts Center on November 30th from News Talk 93.1.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Welcome back. Again, I'm your host, Joey Clark. Sticking on the topic at hand here, this is yesterday, Thomas Massie's, let's say, victory speech from the floor of the House of Representatives. Now, in a way, this is Massie, I think, not only getting a victory on this particular issue, which is virtuous enough to take this fight to Washington, D.C., having the very popular, at least in terms of the right wing, president just lambasting you like crazy. Lambasting? I never know. But you go up head to head against Trump. You already have annoyed most of your colleagues over the years. Massie is the guy, keep in mind, that made all of them come back during COVID and actually get their asses there and vote. You're about to print $4 trillion, if not more, as you lock down the nation for what? And they wanted to do it by proxy. I'm scared. Now, Massie is one consistent fella. And so beyond this win on this particular issue, again, going up against so much of Washington, not wanting this to get done, he led the way and took on President Trump. Now, you could say Massie also, though, has defended Trump in many other ways. And that's the thing. Marjorie Taylor Greene is another example. She's defended Trump in many ways. She was just on the wrong side on this issue. And I wonder, why is somebody like, for instance, a Ted Cruz or a Lindsey Graham, why are they shown the grace when they disagree with the president, often in over-the-top ways? Why are they shown grace and yet somebody like Thomas Massie isn't? Now, we don't know all the behind-the-scenes stuff, so maybe Trump and Massie have more of an understanding than we thought. And again, people always see the vindictive, retributive side of Trump, But look at Elon Musk. Elon Musk was at that candlelight dinner with the Saudis last night. And as Trump walked into the dinner, he patted Elon on the belly and they were both like chuckling and laughing and stuff. So the bros are back. The boys are back in town. Here's Thomas Massie from the floor as this was being voted on, I believe right after it's being voted on. But let's listen in.
The pedophiles as victims. He's saying, oh, we don't embarrass the people that went to the rape.
He is Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, who, by the way, again, looked like a man waiting to be hanged last night.
Island. We should protect those names against unreliable accusations. Is he calling all of these victims unreliable? They've testified to the FBI. The FBI has these names in their possession. I asked the FBI director in a hearing, have you looked at the documents? No, he trusts everybody that's been there for decades. That is wrong. Do not let the Senate muck this bill up.
Yeah.
And if you're a party to that in the Senate, you are part of this cover-up that we are trying to expose. I am sorry if one of your billionaire donors is going to get embarrassed because he went to Rape Island. That is what they have coming. In fact, they need to be on the other side of bars, a lot of them. Some of them will be embarrassed, but some of them need to go to prison, and the survivors know that. So how will we know if this bill has been successful? We will know when there are men, rich men, in handcuffs being perp-walked to the jail. And until then, this is still a cover-up. I urge my Senate colleagues, do not muck up this bill. The president has already said he will sign it. That means he will sign the bill that we have here today. Do not change this bill. He is ready to sign it. Give it to him. Put it on his desk. Let's get justice for these victims.
And the Senate did not muck, as in an M, it up at all. They unanimously passed it. And I'm looking at two quotes here from senators. Let's start with the senior Senator Tuberville. He was on Benny Johnson's show, I believe yesterday, saying of all these folks that might be in the Epstein files, let's put them all in jail, Tuberville said. This has gone on way too long. I don't really understand why we're having to vote on anything in the House or Senate. Just let it go. Let the justice do its job. These people are definitely criminals. Anybody having anything to do with young kids, we put them in jail. We should give them the death penalty often. We throw the key away. I don't care who it is, Tuberville goes on to say. It's time to get this mess over with and let people know you're going to pay the price for doing something like this, so you know it's going to blow up. Tuberville went on to talk about Larry Summers and then, the Democrats trying to pin Epstein on Trump. Now, moving over to Alabama's junior senator, I'm looking at a quote here after the passage of the Epstein Transparency Act, again, was put out by the Senate with unanimously. Senator Katie Britt said, quote, I'm grateful to see the Senate unanimously pass the House bill to release the Epstein files tonight. I've been a longtime supporter of releasing the files and previously supported an amendment in the Senate fiscal year 2026 Appropriations, Commerce, Justice, Science, and Related Agencies Act. A lot of words there. Requiring the Attorney General to submit a full report and findings to Congress. Next stop, President Trump's desk, where he will sign the bill into law. Let's be clear, Senator Katie Britt goes on to say, for Democrats, this was never about the victims. Under Joe Biden, Democrats did nothing to facilitate the release of these files, while Republicans have been calling for the release for years. And last week, they blocked a motion for unanimous consent to release these files, once again putting politics over people. Jeffrey Epstein was a sick and twisted pedophile who was responsible for irreparable harm to countless victims, Senator Britt says. Full stop. Today's passage in both chambers of Congress was a historic step to ensuring justice for Epstein's victims and transparency for the American people. So again, I think Massie comes out a big winner in this. And seriously, Massie 2028 is on a lot of people's minds and a lot of people's lips these days. And keep in mind, it ain't just Sean Hannity and Fox News and all those folks driving the car anymore. And it certainly ain't the New York Times and NBC driving the car. What's driving the car or more independent media. And when you look at the independent media voices that often aren't that conservative, but they're also like not wedded to the Democrats, they like them some Thomas Massie. So Massie 2028, I'm not sitting here today predicting, oh, he's going to win the presidency all these years from now. Who knows? It's an eternity. But he really has taken up the mantle of Ron Paul. He is a champion for liberty. He is a champion for justice. He's a champion for fiscal sanity. One of the few willing to actually stand out, go against his own team, and just like Rand Paul does, and says, we're spending too much damn money. Too much. And so I think that's a message that will continue to resonate in the years ahead. So Massie, clearly a big winner out of this. But as I've been saying, Mike Johnson looked like a man waiting to be hanged last night. This was after the Senate passed this unanimously. Because I was guessing the Senate, I was wrong. The Senate would muck the thing up, as Massie said, because I was queuing off Massie and Speaker Mike Johnson, who said, oh, we can't have this or that because of our principles of classification and whatnot, yada, yada, yada. But here is Mike Johnson looking a bit down last night right after that Senate vote.
Any reaction to Leader Thune seeing the bill without adding amendments or changing it?
I'm deeply disappointed in this outcome. I think I'm told, I've been at the state dinner. I don't know. I was just told that Chuck Schumer rushed it to the floor and put it out there preemptively. It needed amendments. I just spoke to the president about that. We'll see what happens.
So do you think he may veto it? You say you spoke to the president?
I'm not saying that.
Is he supportive of it in its current form?
We both have concerns about it, so we'll see. I was standing there with the Crown Prince.
Are you frustrated in the majority leader? Are you upset with the majority leader?
Yeah, Johnson looked blindsided there. And it makes you wonder, what is he exactly so nervous about? Because they held it for a while, like the actual, I think, to send it to Trump's desk, they held on in the House until the morning and sent it over to the Senate again today. If it hasn't happened already, very soon, Donald Trump will sign this into law. Unless we get more surprises, who knows? This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health, and they're at Montgomery Men's Health. They're ready to help you fellas out if you just don't feel quite like a man anymore. You're just always tired, never in the mood. You fall asleep like right after lunch, and all you ate was like a sandwich, man. Like, why are you falling asleep? Could be you're also seeing loss of muscle, weight gain, a lot of fat gain, just low energy, physically and mentally exhausted. This could all point to low testosterone. There are many men who feel tired, sluggish, and not like themselves. They just assume, it's part of aging. Wrong. Low energy and performance issues aren't inevitable. They have solutions there at Montgomery Men's Health. There's no guesswork, no gimmicks, just real science, effective treatments. They're not just throwing generic fixes at you. The urologist and provider at Montgomery Men's Health will tailor solutions specifically to your body and goals. And it's beyond just testosterone, though that is a key thing to get checked out. They also have ED treatments as well as other options when it comes to, say, functioning and being happy and healthy in that regard. Many options men don't even know exist. And of course, it's affordable and accessible consultation, including blood work, is just $99 with results before you leave. And in fact, they have certain treatments there that you'll feel better the very same day should you choose those treatments. So act now, gentlemen. You only got one life. I know you fellas like to wait and I don't need no doctor and all this stuff. No. Procrastination's only going to make it worse. Call Montgomery Men's Health today. 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or you can always make an appointment online at montgomerymenshealth.com. Again, book that appointment today. Be sure to tell them that Joey Clark fell on the radio sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Call Dad. No, Ella, call Chad.
Since 1993, Chad has been showing up, ready to help with whatever your home AC needs. His mission, to serve first. Chad takes the time to understand exactly what you're looking for, and if he can help, he'll walk you through the best options, sometimes even with 0% or low payment financing to make things easier. No more sweating over hot and cold spots, surprise $700 energy bills, or wondering if your unit will make it through another season. Call Chad today at 784-9144. That's 784-9144.
Call Dad. No, Ella, call Chad.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from? Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Hi, I'm Paul Doe. Me and my wife Jessica own the Seafood Bistro over here in Perry Hill and Carmichael. We've been advertising with Blue Water Broadcasting for going on 3 years now. It has been a great turnout. It's been a pleasure partnering with a local company like Blue Water. And if you have your own business, I suggest teaming up with a partner like Blue Water Broadcasting. It's a local company that helps local businesses.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. For tough, good-looking roofs, it's Tamco Shingles from Alabama Wholesale Lumber. For great folks and great prices, call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We're going to be flirting with record highs. Here we are deep into the month of November, with today mostly sunny and a high temperature today and tomorrow, really in the low 80s. Lows at night in the upper 50s. The record for tomorrow, 81, 1905, is in jeopardy. Then scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast Friday night, into part of the day Saturday. We need the raindrops, obviously. High near 80 Friday and Saturday. Dry Sunday with a high around 74. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Ready to borrow smarter this season? Apply online in minutes at yourasecu.com. Call 334-270-9011 or visit your local branch today.
ASD Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASD.
Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Live local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones here and talk to Austin Baranko with Invista Advisors. Austin, how you doing this afternoon?
Oh, having a great day, Joey. How are y'all?
Yeah, life's good. Flying solo for the time being, but got Andrew Szymanski joining me in the next hour. Now, one thing that I've been noticing as just a layman is all this talk of is AI, is it a bubble? Is it all coming, is it all going to come crashing down and affect the whole economy and all this stuff, all the, doom and gloom you can hear in the press. But I was hoping for a more measured sense of what's going on here from you and what's happening, especially with AI.
Yeah, I don't think AI as a theme necessarily is a bubble. I do think that right now there could be some overvaluation. The value of a lot of these companies, particularly at the top, have ballooned out really fast. And I think that those may come back down to earth at some point with a correction of, maybe 20%. I don't think it's going to be nearly as aggressive as a correction in, say, like a Bitcoin correction, which can be like 60%. I don't think it's going to be that volatile, but I do think that there is, long-term benefit to owning these AI names. But if you don't currently own them, picking them up right now at the current valuation, I think is bad advice. I do think there will be an opportunity, hopefully within the next, 6 months even, to pick these up at a little bit of a discount to where they are now. The broader economy is being, held up by these AI names. And so if you're looking for a holistic approach to, management, you have to be aware of the AI landscape. And now is maybe not the time to pick off AI names, but take a look at some of the more, subtle stocks in the S&P that have lagged this year. I think a lot of those companies have taken an opportunity this year to, focus on cash flows. And the resilient companies are still putting out good numbers, and they haven't grown in proportion with the names at the top, a lot of these AI names. And so you'll see these companies lag and eventually catch up. And I think the companies that are leading and out in front, these AI names, may come back down to earth a little bit. So, when it comes to AI, my recommendation I would say is just be cautious of buying at the high valuations. Maybe look for some underpriced, more vanilla companies at the moment. But we've seen over the last week, the market drop almost 3% in the S&P, led by some of this AI bubble scare. And, some people may be buying into this. When I say buying into it, as the market drops, buying into these names, expecting a swift rebound. When you go back and look at, say, the last 15 years of the market, when we get a correction of 20% or more, the ability to recover has accelerated. It used to take, if you're looking back at the great financial crisis of 08-09, several years to get back to that high water mark. And then if you look back through the COVID era, due to the stimulus and the way that we've printed money, the recovery is only a matter of months rather than years. I think the environment we're in now, if we get a correction of over 20%, I think the recovery will be swifter. You're looking at some type of, printing going on in Japan. I think there's going to be some type of quantitative easing abroad, and that could, effectively pump up the global and domestic economy here because of the relations that we have with these countries. And so, I don't know, all in all, right now, the AI is not where I'd be buying, but I definitely would be looking for a pullback and expecting a buying opportunity in the AI names. But cautiously right now, I would be wading into the more vanilla names at the bottom of the S&P that haven't performed as well this year.
Yeah, and my sense is, again, as a layman in the long run, that the idea that we need to manufacture chips and GPUs and you need data centers and all this stuff, like that ain't going away. Just looking at what governments are doing, looking at what some of the top players are doing, I think it'll be fascinating. And this is how markets work, right? I think back to 99, 2000 with the dot-com boom, there were a lot of companies that, were overvalued, but it doesn't mean the internet was a bad idea. Look at where we are today.
No, that's right. And if you look back kind of like the dot-com bubble, a lot of those companies were illegitimate, but many of them were legitimate. And as time went on, the way I would compare, say, the needs of energy now to create chips and these, processing centers is similar to hardware that would accompany software back in the day. Microsoft and Dell and all these companies had hardware to support their sales of their software. And now you're needing energy and infrastructure to support these AI needs. And so, if you're looking to have not a direct play, but kind of an indirect play on AI, where some names aren't, totally unattainable and overvalued, I'd be looking at some of the energy names and then some of these infrastructure companies that are building out the data centers and providing the energy or building energy sources like solar panels, nuclear, these types of reactors to push AI forward that haven't blown up in valuation yet. So kind of similar to the dot-com in the AI space, you don't have to play it directly. An indirect play could also be very profitable in the long run.
Well, and folks, it's this sort of expertise and insight, and also is really on top of it. A lot of work behind the scenes that people don't see, I suspect, Austin. But that's just one aspect of Invista Advisors. Let's tell folks about what y'all can do for people, no matter where they are in life there at Invista Advisors.
Yeah, we're a registered investment advisory that leads with planning. And so if you've never had a full-blown financial plan done that maps out, where you are currently with your income and expenses and with your goals as far as retirement, maybe putting kids through college or getting a parent through the late stages of life, we'll step in and build that plan for you. And once we built a plan, then we'll come in with asset management, which is kind of the subject you and I have been discussing today. Is we manage a portfolio of assets for all of our clients, and these are the types of topics that we discuss every other week in our investment committee. And so if you don't have a professional working for you behind the scenes, we'd love the opportunity to be that professional.
Well, folks, y'all get in touch with them. You can always learn more at InvistaAdvisors.com, but I say call them direct at 387-0094. And when you call them at 387-0094, be sure to say, hey, I heard Austin Branco on the radio with Joey Clark. Want to see what y'all can do for me.
Yeah, thank you, Joey. And tell Andrew I say, hey, my buddies in my group chat were just talking about how it looks like Hilltop has their Christmas decor out. So we're looking forward to heading up to Hilltop and experiencing that this year.
Very cool. Well, I will definitely, and I appreciate it as always, Austin. Talk again soon.
Yep. Thanks, Joey.
Again, that's Austin Branco with Invista Advisors.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor, and separate entity from LPL Financial.
Folks, we'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
This is the greatest opportunity for exquisite jewelry from Marguerite's. Marguerite's is filled to the gills for the holiday season. Marguerite's blowout is on. Every single item at Marguerite's has a crazy, wacko, insane price. You can lay away for Christmas at the cuckoo prices. Watch batteries, $8. Rhodium dipping, $19. 60% off all diamonds. Every item at Marguerite's is insanely priced. Marguerite's, Vaughn Road.
The River Region's News Talk station. News Talk 93.1, WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones now and talk to Josh Bottoms with Sons Kia of Montgomery. Josh, how you doing this afternoon?
Man, I am doing so great today. You know, it's a beautiful day. It started out a little shaky, but then the sun has came out. The weather is warming up. It's just a beautiful day. I'm sitting over in the service department, man. I can't believe how busy we are over here in the service department. They're getting cars in and out. You know, we got some great specials going on over here. We've got the construction going up. You know, you see it going up. Hey, we've been doing a food drive, too. I forgot to mention that last week. We're doing a food drive through the rest of the week, and we've gathered a lot of canned goods. And you know, this is my favorite time of the year, man. We're getting into that family season and so it's a family-driven food drive. So if anybody out there listening, come by and drop some some canned goods off for us, and that would be great. We're turning it into one of the local food shelters. Super good thing going on. I've got some great deals going on as we've had all month and will continue to go. The sticker event is back, so you'll see some of the stickers. You'll see some of that on our social media as well. We've got $4,400 off of our Sorrentos, getting ready and making room for the 26s. We've got $3,000 off of the K5s. I've got some great prices and also some great payments. Like we've talked about, I've got a brand new 2026 Kia Sportage that you can lease for $399 a month. I've got a Kia Seltos. It's a 26 as well. You can lease it for $269 a month. And then I've got a Soul that you can lease for $459 a month. So that's three with it, you know, $400 or less. And you just don't see those payments here, you know, anymore. So y'all come see us on this side of the boulevard, or you can visit us at sonskiamontgomery.com.
Folks, bring your canned goods by when you stop by this week. I appreciate it as always, Josh, and early happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Joey.
Appreciate it, sir. Again, it's Josh Bottoms with Sons Kia of Montgomery. Y'all get by there today for those great deals. Again, 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation, or maybe you want to get in the queue in line. We will have Councilman Andrew Szymanski on the program here, and a bunch of business of the city of Montgomery looking forward to talking about, and also might, as Austin Branco hinted at, get into the holiday season and what might be happening in Montgomery for the upcoming holiday season. And speaking of that, what is the main reason for this season? One thing that's been happening, of course, expedited, tragically, but some goods come out of it, of Charlie Kirk's assassination, is the amount of people that are going back to church, opening back up their Bibles, and reconsidering their prior assumptions. And one aspect of this that I'm really enjoying watching are folks that were and are still dyed-in-the-wool liberals. I don't mean like woke, progressive, crazy, take a Xanax, woman. Not that stuff. No. I mean, folks that are always been kind of on the left. I tell my family and friends this all the time. Your politics is mostly your temperament. We like to think we're these purely rational beings, and I've made all my decisions about who I vote for and the policies I like purely on principle and logic. Yeah, right. Sure. Now, it usually ends up being much more somebody's temperament at a deeper level, and then the politics and the policies come afterwards. So when I see these liberals, temperamentally liberal people, starting to shift and open their eyes to, well, the gospel of Jesus Christ, it's always refreshing to see, well, somebody learn anew, right? And there's this great moment, I think we got time for it, where it was with Victor Davis Hanson. Jillian Michaels, who is she's a lesbian? And I'm sorry if that's not true. She's lived in California most of her life. She's been a big old lib, and especially temperamentally, I think she still is, for most of her life. But it's truly enjoyable to watch somebody who just didn't know things like, oh, you mean there's actual sound, like ironclad evidence for the historical Jesus? So let's let Victor Davis Hanson take this away for us. He lays out that, yeah, in fact, we have much documentation that has nothing to do with the Bible itself, though the Bible itself is pretty well backed up as historical documents as well, especially the New Testament. But here is Victor Davis Hanson explaining some of this to Jillian Michaels.
The Magician was written by a scholar at Columbia that showed that, I don't necessarily agree with his thesis, but there were a lot of people that were traveling magicians, and Christ was the best one, and that also bothered the Romans, and he was able to create mass populist Sermon on the Mount stuff. And then the message, you got to remember that the message
we didn't even know this guy. This is going to infuriate people, and I'm so sorry, and I stay out of it. But I thought we weren't even really sure whether or not Jesus existed, and the apostles wrote this stuff hundreds of years later.
No, the Romans knew we have Roman documents completely separate from religion, that he was a magnetic, he was a romantic, wonderful person to the people who knew him. Then he had staged a revolution, and that presented a problem in this troublesome province. And how the Romans ran Judea, as they ran everything, they had client kings, Herod. So they would go to the Jews or the Gaul, anybody, and say, you're going to be the regent here. This is the protocol. We have Roman legions to keep you in line, but we want this. And it's basically a question of taxes, control. And in exchange for that, we give you roads and aqueducts and habeas corpus and civilization. And that was the deal. So
this sounds like the way, by the way, that we go into the developing world.
Yes. And so there were regent kings, and then you always had a provincial Roman official like Pilate, who had a temporary, assignment, and he was the ultimate judge. So his whole point was, I don't want to get into this stuff between this new offshoot of Judaism called Christianity and this guy Jesus and the Orthodox. But I don't know what he did, but I know that it's troublesome. He's got a new religion, and unfortunately, it's turned the other cheek, brotherhood of man, blessed are the meek, blessed are the poor. That's not Roman. We have a Roman military ethos that the strong inherit the earth, and if an enemy offends you, you hit him twice. And this guy is preaching something very different. And oh, by the way, the local Orthodoxy doesn't like him either. So we'll just wash my hands of it and say, how do we kill two birds with one stone? I.e., not have them angry at us, and not have this revolutionary new sect. So what we'll do is we'll get Pilate, and he'll say, well, I wash my hands of it, but since these guys think he's guilty, I'll let him kill him, and then we'll blame them. At the same time, with the apostles and the next two generations, they were being killed systematically in Rome by Romans that had nothing to do with Jews.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So when anybody says that the Jews killed Jesus, it's more like the Romans wanted a quiet province, and they did not like Jesus and what he represented. It was anti-Roman. It was a popular revolt they thought could happen, and there was an orthodoxy that they had come to terms with and used them to keep the peace. So they said basically, well, in Judaism, in Judea, the Jewish establishment, the religious establishment, doesn't like him any more than we do, so we can get rid of him, and then say the Pharisees basically did it.
This is so wild. I'm sorry. I know it's not wild for people who know this information, but I genuinely thought, okay, the Jews had the Old Testament, the Torah, and then maybe there was this guy, Jesus. The apostles wrote stuff, but the first guy who wrote something was like, 90 or so years later. We think maybe there's some Dead Sea Scrolls, kind of mentioned this guy, Jesus. But then Constantine had a Council of Nicaea or something like that in the year.
He had a vision at the Millennium Bridge that all of a sudden he saw a cross in the sky, and he flipped the entire empire. So
Davis goes on to say this is why you have the organization of the Roman Catholic Church. It very much mirrors the old Roman Empire's organizational structure. But again, it's great to see folks who just don't know in this new age of information flow. Well, now they do.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump's claimed that Saudi Arabia will be investing about $1 trillion in the U.S. economy appears to be coming true already at a major conference today. The president announcing that Saudi companies are making about $270 billion of new deals already, much of that centering around the energy sector. The president spoke at the U.S. Saudi Investment Forum here in Washington, one day after hosting the Saudi Crown Prince at the White House. The Israeli military has carried out airstrikes in southern Lebanon, targeting what it claims are Hezbollah weapons storage facilities. Israel claims Hezbollah is trying to reestablish its presence in the region. AAA says nearly 82 million Americans are set to travel between November 25th and December 1st, a big increase of about 1.6 million people compared to those who traveled for Thanksgiving last year. This is SRN News.
Hey, it's Mike Gallagher, host of the Mike Gallagher Show. I don't mess around when it comes to saving your money. Right now, rates have dropped to the lowest level in over a year and a half. That means if you bought your home or refinanced in the last 3 years, you could be saving hundreds of dollars every month. Lower your rate, lower your monthly payment, even kick that pesky PMI to the curb. And get this, you can skip 2 full months of mortgage payments. But that's not all. Fellowship Home Loans just rolled out something incredible. Their very own HELOC and lines of credit. Approval in just 5 minutes. Money in your account in as little as 4 days. It's the easiest system you've ever used. You can do it yourself online. Whether you want to pay off bills, tackle a home project, cover education, or even a wedding, Fellowship Home Loans makes it simple to leverage the money that's already sitting in your house. Just go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending guided by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 8193.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillips Shinbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillips Shinbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We're going to be flirting with record highs. Here we are deep into the month of November, with today mostly sunny and a high temperature today and tomorrow, really in the low 80s. Lows at night in the upper 50s. The record for tomorrow, 81, 1905, is in jeopardy. Then scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast Friday night, into part of the day Saturday. We need the raindrops, obviously. High near 80 Friday and Saturday. Dry Sunday with a high around 74. From Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray to Publix.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. Montgomery police have released the name of the man killed in the city's latest homicide. 25-year-old Zachary Hooks was shot just after 6 p.m. Monday on Cortland Drive in Edgemont Heights. Hooks was pronounced dead at the scene. No suspect or motive has been identified. This is Montgomery's 56th homicide of the year. An Onondaga County man has been sentenced to 965 years in prison after being convicted of 84 child sex crimes. 47-year-old Jason Hudson was found guilty of numerous first-degree counts of sexual assault, sodomy, and sexual abuse of a child under the age of 12, as well as 75 counts of child pornography possession. Obscene videos of children as young as 2 years old were found at Hudson's residence. The board that oversees Alabama Public Television has voted to continue paying its contract with PBS. The decision rejects an effort, at least for now, to be the first state to cut ties with PBS because of politics and federal budget cuts. Alabama Public Television pays about $2.2 million per year for PBS programming. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Businesses have trusted our family at Delta for their printing needs since 1979. Today, Delta does business printing and so much more. We print invitations, Christmas cards, Canva, and Etsy files in as little as 24 hours. We can also print and address the envelopes, saving you time and money. Come see us at 5757A Atlanta Highway or call 271-COPY or shop at letdeltadoit.com. When you need printing, copying, gifts, signs, or more, let Delta do it.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
How you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Beautiful Wednesday here in Montgomery, Alabama. And as promised, joining me now in the studio, we have Andrew Szymanski, counselor. Andrew Szymanski, how are you doing today, sir?
I am doing very well. I'm going to give my monthly lunch report. I love how I get to do this. It's like R&D, you know. So today was El Campesino, the taqueria on Mount Meigs.
Okay.
Fabulous. And, you know, when you go into a place and you can tell that most of the people there are refueling for an afternoon of hard work, then you know it's going to be a good place. So I had a delicious meal with some friends. Amanda was there, and awesome. So doing good.
Sounds like a good day so far. And before we jump into city business and other questions, I was just talking to Austin Branco. He says hi.
Oh, good.
And
Hey,
he was talking about he wants to go up to Hilltop. He's sensing the Christmas decorations are already starting maybe to come out or something of that sense. And I guess a broader question, whether it's private businesses or the city, like what can we expect for the holidays?
Yeah. So from the city, you know, we have the Christmas parades coming up, obviously the Turkey Day Classic parade and the big football game there. The Christmas parade, I believe, is scheduled. It was announced last night for Friday, December 12th. I think there's a conversation about whether or not that might get moved to Monday the 15th, but I don't think that's going to happen. The thought being is that if you did it the night before, this year it's not the Chameleon Bowl, the Veterans Bowl that we host is early this year. It's like Tuesday, December 16th, which I hope people show up for.
Yeah.
But there may be a move to try and have a parade element the night before when all the college bands are in town, but it is a little bit complicated to have a Monday night parade with schools and kids and all that kind of stuff. So we have that coming up, and then there's just a lot of events that are happening around the river region. I really encourage everybody, especially, we hear a lot about people saying, you buy into this whole notion that we want to support small businesses, and your downtown businesses are really in need of people making the trek down there to, whether it's have dinner, do some shopping for the holidays and whatnot. And I have to say, I was a little bit we had the Veterans Day parade, and big kudos to Eddie Compton at the city and all of the people that put a lot of work in making the parade great. Would have loved to have seen some more Montgomeryans there. Yeah. And, I know you're probably gonna have callers that'll tell you, I'm never going back to downtown, but that's just unfortunate, especially on a day where it's the 50-year. Montgomery was selected as a regional host site to host this big grand event. So just as the holidays come along, I hope people come out. Now, for my stuff, we're really excited because this is the 3rd year of us doing the Miracle at Hilltop. Now we're one of I think there's about 88 locations, nation and worldwide. They've added locations in Canada, Australia, and Europe, which is really exciting. And it kind of goes back to that same kind of that tone of, when we first decided to do Miracle, we knew it was going to be a major financial risk to become a franchise. And we weren't sure if they were going to allow us to be one, but they were really interested in our space, and Montgomery really showed out for that. And so all 80 something locations have opened up their Miracles all over the world. And we all did that on Monday. And if you've never gotten a chance to see, you can imagine an explosion of Christmas and then multiply that by 10. Okay. That's basically, it took us 6 days to
I was about to ask, what is this? Yeah. So it's just a huge,
yes.
I haven't been down there. Sorry.
So you got to come down. So it's Miracle. It started in New York at a bar. And basically what it is it's like a franchise that you can buy into. It's a pop-up cocktail bar that lasts for about 7 weeks. And every location you go to will have the same menu. Each drink has its own unique custom glass, kind of fun, festive glassware, these ceramic fun glasses. Yeah. But every location is required to do an over-the-top decoration of Christmas. And we are one of only 2 in the state of Alabama, us in Birmingham. And you get a good bit of exclusivity with it. You get about 100-mile radius, a little less than obviously with Birmingham, but whether you're in Atlanta, LA, Chicago, Boston, Austin, Texas, Chattanooga, Tampa, Florida, we all have the same menus and the same glassware and the same dates of operation, but we each decorate in a different way. And as I said, it took us 6 days to do the decorations. There is more lights, garlands, Christmas baubles hanging from ceilings. You just have to come check it out. It's a pretty amazing thing. And as I said, one of the best parts about it is that we had such good response. We, get there early in the season, because by 2 weeks leading out to Christmas, when we close the shop every day now at 3:30 and reopen at 5 to pull this off, we have to rent a commercial kitchen to help make all of the syrups and components of the drinks. But it'll be like a Wednesday on 2 weeks away from Christmas, and when we open the doors at 5 o'clock, we'll have 30-40 people waiting in line. We have people that travel from all over the area to come see Miracle, so it's a lot of fun.
Well, folks, y'all get by there. Just wanted to talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
Now, last night was city business, the council meeting. Yesterday on the show, we had Councilor Aronde Mitchell call in and talking about William Boyd. I asked him in particular about how do you think this vote's going to turn out with the rest of the council, and he said, well, I told them to vote their hearts. Well, I guess they did, and William Boyd did not make it through. What happened with this vote? What was your thinking on
this? That's a good question. A lot of times I think we will defer for certain things to the counselor whose district the appointment's coming from, or if it's whether it's a rezoning or business licensing, there's usually some deference that's given there. But in some cases, especially with me, I think this is really about there's a few commissions it's really about what's the resume, right? And wanting the right person to be in there. And you had mentioned Councilor Mitchell calling in. I called him the other night and I just said, because I know William Boyd. I helped him get a rezoning for his business. I think he's doing some great work in the community. I'm a supporter of his annual New Year's Day parade, which is a fabulous thing that happens right on the border of District 7 on Fairview Avenue. When I had an appointment for this authority, the housing authority, come up, I really wanted to make sure we had somebody from District 7 that knew the industry, had experience. Stuart Hales is my appointee. He owns Red Tails Realty. He and his wife do. They're fabulous. Been making major investments in our city, helping people with some unique and creative programs to become first-time homeowners. Has traveled, lived in Mobile and Baton Rouge. So just somebody I thought was really going to help, because guess what? It is critically important that we have a high-functioning housing authority. We need to be putting in people there that can help move that forward. This is not just about a political appointment. This is about someone with real skill, because, in my district, I have Patterson Court, a housing project, and that is, I think, the second oldest public housing project in the entire country.
Wow.
So this was really critical. That was where I came from, and I expressed those to Councilor Mitchell ahead of time, and I give him a lot of respect for saying, to vote your conscience, vote your heart, because it's a challenging thing, obviously, when you feel like something, and you're right, it's not something that's oftentimes contested, but for this time, I thought that I was making the right call by wanting him to really rethink who would be the best representative for that. And again, I know there's a lot of stuff spewing online. I really thought about the person, the personality, and
the person today. You weren't bringing up all the stuff from 2002.
I
in the news that I brought
know
up
after the first meeting when it first came up. I'd never known that. I said I've known William Boyd for a long time. I wasn't aware of this, and for people that don't know, I haven't been here my whole life, so some things I'm just not going to know. And I told Councilor Mitchell that, and I respected his response to me.
You haven't been here your whole life. That's to your credits.
Well, it is, but sometimes there are some factual things that I just miss out on, so I just, I had no idea.
Now, another thing, a story, of course, I saw over there at 1819 News is you were awarded a grant. It's a matching grant for one of the businesses that you're trying to stand up. And I just wanted you to be able to respond to this idea of conflict of interest, you being on the council, getting even if it is matching, you're getting city money while being in charge of the city. So what do you say to those that bring up this conflict?
Yeah, well, one of the things first is we were awarded. So, let me back up. So Ricky's is a new business that I opened up in downtown the weekend before the unfortunate mass shooting event that happened in downtown. So really good timing on my part. I am part of a 3-person group, Hilltop Hospitality Group. I'm a minority partner in that. I have 2 wonderful business partners, one of whom is our day-to-day operating general manager, but also is an invested owner. We own Hilltop Hospitality. The city had approached downtown businesses because one of the requirements was for this grant that you had to be in this specific footprint of the downtown area. And we were awarded the grant. This is all the way back in July that we actually were awarded it. Wasn't part of the application process, the site review process. Wasn't there the night that they gave out the check. But we've actually not accepted any funds yet. And I had had conversations previous with the city attorney, and we're double checking to make sure that I am eligible to be a partner in a business that is awarded this grant. So we have not received any money. We haven't asked for the reimbursement. That's handled outside of my purview with the business. But I think it's a valid thing for people. When the article came out, I had a lot of people being like, man, this is a real hit piece. And I was like, well, this does come with the territory. You and I were talking about offline. Is that, when you're a public figure, people are allowed to scrutinize your public actions. And so I hope that the business, which, again, from day one, I've been coming in here, and I know I get a lot of people that are naysayers, and especially more recently about downtown, but I believe in it, and I put my money where my mouth is at, and my partners believe in it. Yeah. And we saw an opportunity to stand up another business in a unique corridor right next to New South Books, Oliver's, which if you haven't been, for their Italian beef and Chicago hot dogs, is amazing, right next to the 23 Court cigar bar. Like, there's a little something cool happening with some small business there. We had the opportunity to go in there. And then when the city came around and went to all the businesses in downtown, my GM thought that it would be a good opportunity for us to really get us over the hump on some of the financial constraints that we had in opening up a new business. If it turns out that we're not eligible, or I'm not eligible to be part, and that the business is not eligible because of my position as city council, then we just won't put in for the money. But it's not anything.
How much money are we talking? I forget.
It was a 50-50 matching grant. So you could put in for up to $15,000 to be reimbursed, but you had to spend $30,000. So it was basically a way, and they called it a storefront facade grant. The city actually is going to be doing another round of those grants for businesses that didn't apply this time around. I think there was about 6 or 7 businesses that were awarded this time around, but it's just really just to help small businesses. There it is. Put up an awning, get a new sign. If you're going into a space like the space we went into needed new flooring in order to be occupiable. It doesn't help out with you can't buy like TVs and bar coolers and stuff necessarily. But it was more like fixing up the actual structure to make it easier.
Definitely some of the buildings down there need that
desperately. I mean, I'll tell you, one of the things that it's crazy to me that Dexter Avenue is probably one of the most, it's probably in almost every child's curriculum. Like everybody in the country has heard of Dexter Avenue.
Right.
And you go down there on a Friday night and it's a ghost town. And that's something we've got to fix. And hopefully programs like this, small little grants that can help businesses go and occupy and turn empty, dilapidated spaces into businesses should be something we're focused on. If it turns out that Ricky's, which is the name of the business, if Ricky's is not eligible because of my involvement, then we just won't accept the funds.
Well, and just to underline this and give it back to you, so I understand that the business gets the award in July. You're not doing the day-to-day operations, doesn't sound like, of that particular business. And then you, just to be safe, say, let me check with the ethics folks to make sure we're actually can be awarded it.
Well, actually, we had gotten the award and then we did all the work for a few months, and then and totally out of sight, out of mind. When this thing popped up, the article popped up. I asked my GM if we'd put in for the money yet, and he said we had not yet. We still had all the gathering receipts and stuff. And because of the article, I said, well, shoot, I guess I better look into this. So, you can fault me for not being more proactive maybe, but I've talked to the city attorney. They're working through the process. We're getting a formal ethics review. And as I said, if it turns out that we're not allowed or eligible to put in for the award, then we'll give the $15,000 back, which we haven't taken. So I don't know.
Well,
reallocate it to a new business, maybe.
There you go. Now, and I admit, especially given my living arrangement, just where I'm at in life, I'm more a well-wisher for good things. I'm not necessarily going down there myself, though. I've been to 23 and cigar. I like cigars a lot, and a little whiskey every once in a while, and all that food sounds fantastic. So, maybe another spring or two in life, I'll be more frequent down there, and I got to stop by to see y'all's places with Miracle, what you're talking about.
Yeah,
awesome.
Definitely come down to Miracle, and I'll, I don't know, are we up against?
We're about to hit a break. And well, folks, y'all stay tuned and call in if you have a comment or question at 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. This entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage, and they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams, Madeline Cannon are ready to help you out, whether you're looking to purchase a home or refinance your current home with interest rates continuing to fall. In fact, I saw the Treasury Secretary Bannon saying they're pushing the Fed to continue to lower those rates at the next meeting. With that happening, now is the time to at least start the conversation with Alabama Home Mortgage. You don't have to pull the trigger when you call 567-4223, but you can get in the right position. And again, it could be if you're a first-time home buyer, they get you pre-approved. They walk you through the process all the way to closing day. Or maybe you're looking to refinance to get credit card debt, especially with those APRs off your back. Or could be you're looking to reinvest in your property, yourself, your family, whatever your goals, they can help you there at Alabama Home Mortgage. So y'all check them out today. Call them direct to 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Need extra cash? Take 90 days to start paying it back. ASE Credit Union is here to help on your schedule. Whether you're tackling unexpected expenses, consolidating debt, or planning a big purchase, for a limited time, get an unsecured signature loan with no payments for 90 days. Use the funds however you need. Holiday shopping, vacations, medical expenses, or just peace of mind.
ASD Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASD.
Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
From weddings and concerts to cookouts and construction sites, TT Porta Toilets has been serving Central Alabama for over 30 years. Whether you need standard portable toilets with wash stations or upscale restroom trailers for special events, the Tierce family has the right solution for every occasion. So when you're planning your next big event or project, make it easy on yourself. Call 285-5513 or visit ttportatoilet.com. TT Porta Toilets. Clean, convenient, dependable.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector. That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig? No, but it looks like you do. And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich? What's that? I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man. You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist? That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE. You know, I've heard a lot of good things about David Ernest. You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience. Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold. That's right, man. And I can see that you don't have very much experience. What do you mean, man? Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach. Yeah, man. Well, I want to start out small and kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich. Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first. You think he's got a shovel? Never know till you ask. I dig, man.
This is the time of the year most of us are checking off our holiday gift list. Identity thieves have lists too, and your personal information might be on that list. Protect your identity with LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every single second and alerts you to the threats you could miss yourself. If your identity is stolen, your own U.S.-based restoration specialist is going to work to fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Make this season about joy, not identity theft, with LifeLock. Save up to 40% off your first year at LifeLock.com with the promo code BECK. Terms apply.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I just want to brag for a second. Toot my own horn about my lack of responsibility in this job. Like, I'm not trying to run or represent or do anything in the city, so I can be like, did that thing happen to this thing? What, But you have to be on top of things, as do anybody who wants to lead the city. So real quick, the cap on contracts, say the mayor's office can do unilaterally, that passed a couple meetings ago, and it really is just you have to report it, right?
Yeah. So the process basically just takes like we had done the last year. I proposed the resolution in 2024, 25, and now for 26 and going forward, same process as that. Anything that's over $50,000 or over has to come through city council for approval. State bid laws, $30,000, various municipalities, whether it be Birmingham, Mobile, Auburn, Huntsville, they all have different. Montgomery traditionally hadn't, and when I say traditionally, they never had. So obviously, it was a bit of a change. But I said from day one, we can't just keep looking backwards and doing things the way that they've always been. And so we've moved that forward, and hopefully now we've kind of codified that, and that's just how we'll continue to operate.
Well, I like it. I think it's just common sense, and I think we need more common sense in this city across the board, as well as leadership. But hey, let's go to Simpler Days. Hey, Simpler Days, how are you?
Pretty good. Thank you, as always, Councilman, for coming on and letting us ask you some questions and grill you every now and then. You said that on Friday nights that there's a ghost town downtown.
Well, I said Dexter Avenue, not specifically. There's a lot of activity that's happening in downtown. I wish that we could continue what we already have and then see new businesses that draw people all the way up Dexter Avenue towards the Capitol.
Well, if it's a tourist attraction, as we know it is, and has been that way forever, why don't you think people that are staying in hotels and want to walk down Dexter Avenue and just stretch their legs and walk and see the sights?
Well, because Dexter Avenue is empty.
Yeah.
You drive down, you look, there's some things, right? Prevail's down there, Island Delights down there, Lorraine's Bake Shop, which if you've never gotten any of Lorraine's baked goods, you're missing out. But it really just stops less than a block up Dexter Avenue. That next block, and even on that first part, right next to the Crest building, there's just empty storefront. So there's not a whole lot to attract people up there, which is unfortunate. 5 years ago, I never would have thought there'd be a reason to hang around the parking lot area of the Biscuit Stadium, but now you've got new hotels popping up there, Little Donkey, Hero Donuts. And so if you put things places and you get businesses open in empty storefronts, people will go.
Well, when I travel to other cities, and after I've traveled all day and I want to stretch my legs, I get out and I want to see sights at night, but I want to feel safe. And I think that's one of your problems, and like the mass shooting, and I've got all of my relatives have left Montgomery, and I'll still get the what's going on, and when they see the murders and when they see the activity, what's going on, because people want to feel safe. In simpler days, we used to have beat cops that walked. Of course, we had 500 plus officers then. We had beat cops that walked Dexter Avenue and Old Town and walked to headquarters and back. But people got to feel safe. And I don't know if you saw the latest homicide numbers. I think they're 56 right now.
Give or take, something like that.
Yeah, there's 56 homicides right now. You compare that to states now, like Maine, New Hampshire, Montana. They have between 25 and 50 for the whole state. If you want people to come down there, the city's going to have to put a positive image out that they're against crime and not be trying to hire ex-criminals and people that were promoting prostitution.
Well, you're diverging a little bit, and let me tell you that one of the things I've been really happy with is the response that we've gotten, not only from Montgomery PD with the increased resources that we have down there, but I have been seeing, and I know that this is purposeful, but the continuing the partnership that we have with the state troopers has been amazing. And just the other day, I was in downtown, saw 4 state trooper vehicles, saw somebody getting pulled over by a Montgomery police officer, and saw 2 state troopers walking through the alleyway. So again, is it great to be reactionary? No. Should we be more proactive in some things? Yes. Are we responding? I believe that we are. I talk to the downtown business owners, a group of them, all the time. I talk to other people that have vested interest there. I know that it's not going to be necessarily everybody's cup of tea, but I do think that we are responding, and I'm seeing that force out there, especially on the weekend time. They know that the fourth quarter is critical for all of us. And so, the other thing I just would point out that even before the mass shooting, Dexter Avenue was still empty. And so I'm really making the argument that we have to, when I did the buildings up at Hilltop, they were abandoned buildings, no power, water, no windows, had a lot of pass-through vagrants and whatnot. You know what gets bad people out of places like that is when you light them up. We have a lot of people in downtown. Of course, you have a public safety element there, and you have activity. The hotel industry is through the roof. I mean, it's been amazing. Right across the street from Hilltop, the Elevation Hotel opened up last month, and it has been absolutely amazing and packed. The activity is constant. So I think there's an opportunity to go to downtown. Look, I have plenty of people that tell me that I'm crazy for making investments in downtown and that I should just get out of that space. But I believe in it. And I think if we get more businesses down there, if we get more entrepreneurs down there, we can really create a space. And with the partnership of all of the law enforcement agencies who call the capital city their home, I think we can do a lot of good things down there.
Well, it's only going to take one or two more of those mass activities, and it's the image that across this state where people live in other cities that read our local news, watch our local news, are connected, still watch it. They can't believe it's gotten to this point.
But I'll tell you this, though. I mean, look, 5 Points in Birmingham had a mass shooting, had 15 people shot. I'll still go to Chez Fonfon, right? Mm-hmm. I'll still go to Filter Coffee over there. They have responded to a terrible thing that happened in one of their most popular nightlife areas and restaurant areas. And so I understand people have personal choice. I'm just saying that I think that we can respond in a similar way to the way Birmingham did, by the businesses doubling down, by working with city officials, by getting law enforcement agencies, multiple law enforcement agencies engaged. And as I said, and people will go back, and from my friends that work in that area, it's back. And so I think there's a mixture. I'm not going to convince everybody, right? I'm not going to convince everybody, but I do think that if you see the way that I've seen the increased patrols in downtown over the past few days, way more than anything we had seen before that event, there is a commitment level, and it's not just Montgomery PD who are doing a great job responding. We're also getting help from the other law enforcement agencies that are here in Montgomery.
Well, please, y'all just do a better job of vetting people before they are nominated. I mean, at least vet them. Like you said, you weren't aware of that individual's past. You just need to do a vet. But
hold on. But he voted against William Boyd advancing. He didn't nominate him.
Right.
Well, and also, again, a lot of
know.
times we allow the council, have that right. And as I said, I don't really want to, belabor this point because the nomination didn't go through, and there's a lot of things that I think can be celebrated about an individual who has changed a life around and positively contributes things that happen in my district. He's a small business owner in my district, and so I really don't want to sit up here and just beat somebody up over something that I think was more about qualification and having the right person in that spot versus drumming up a pass. So
well, all righty. You have a good day. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Simple Days.
Got to hit another break here. Again, 272-9228 if y'all want to get in on the conversation. I think I saw the mayor said our taxes revenues are a little lower than
some categories and some.
Okay.
Yeah, yes and no.
Yeah, I'd like to get into some of the nuts and bolts
Sure.
if we got time, but we have to hit this break. Be right back, folks.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better Business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
Need some extra cash? Gold and silver are at an all-time high. Turn your old coins, currency, or gold and silver into money at Trademark Coins and Currency, the only coin shop in the River region with over 40 years of experience. Veteran owned and operated, and proudly serving Montgomery from their location off Vaughn Road. Trademark Coins and Currency is always buying, and free appraisals means there's no pressure, just real value. Make an appointment today. Learn more at trademarkcoinsandcurrency.com. Trademark Coins and Currency. Experience you can count on.
Hello there, this is Dr. Sam, account executive with Blue Water Broadcasting. Why should you advertise with us? Frequency sells. The more ads you can get on the air, the better the chance it'll make an impact. Radio allows advertisers an inexpensive way to get their voice heard over and over again. Contact me, Dr. Sam, by going to BlueWaterBroadcasting.com to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Clark Heating, Air and Plumbing. Summer is over, but the deals are hot at Clark Heating, Air and Plumbing. Just $29 service fee for all your AC and plumbing needs. Better call Clark today. Alabama certification number 09098.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We're going to be flirting with record highs. Here we are deep into the month of November, with today mostly sunny and a high temperature today and tomorrow, really in the low 80s. Lows at night in the upper 50s. The record for tomorrow, 81, 1905, is in jeopardy. Then scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast Friday night, into part of the day Saturday. We need the raindrops, obviously. High near 80 Friday and Saturday. Dry Sunday with a high around 74. From Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
We're redesigning financial freedom at CB&S Bank. Make purchases at participating stores and restaurants using your CB&S Bank debit card through your mobile devices with Mobile Wallet. Charges and fees may apply from your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for more information. Member FDIC.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACP.
Welcome back, folks. I'm your host, Joey Clark, and Andrew Szymanski here in the studio with me. Now, on the amount of money, the revenues coming in, did it soften a little bit? But I hope, as you just said, the lodging tax and all sorts of stuff with downtown booming in that regard is still going strong.
Yeah, we so at the beginning of our council meetings during the mayor's report, we usually get the monthly financial breakdown from the previous month. And so sales and use tax, I think it was up 2.49% for the same month last year. Drop a little bit in alcohol sales, but it looked like on the whiskey tax stuff that you actually had some reporting and just some, when payments come in. So sometimes that can vary, but lodging tax is great. The gas tax has actually been a huge benefit. District 7 is very excited. We actually on December 4th have a community meeting to review a major infrastructure project that I've gotten confirmed through Public Works, paving 2 critically bad streets in the Nixon Times and Gretz neighborhood. So we're really, really thrilled about that. And that's just essential as the cost of some of these things go up. So I do think that, interestingly, just everywhere, which is funny because I just opened up a bar, but to have people are drinking a little bit less these days, especially younger generations. And
they just banned all the hemp stuff.
And they just banned all the hemp stuff. So that's kind of an interesting thing. So, it's whatever people's vices are, but that's, so we are still trending in a very positive position when it comes to the finances of the city. Good. I'm very, very happy with that. But it is something for people to monitor and take a look at, because you really get to see it's not just people always think about just like sales tax, gas tax, but we have other sources of revenue, and we track those on a month-to-month basis.
Let's go to line 2. I think they've been holding the longest. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Duke. How you doing?
Hey, Duke, you got a question for Andrew Sismaski?
How you doing, guys? Yes. I was gonna make a comment. I want to take, for example, the last caller. That's what happens when you talk negative all the time. Simple days, this gentleman's trying to tell the city, okay? He's trying to sell the ideas and make people feel safe to come downtown. You got people like him who's telling how bad crime is. I mean, you can go to any city and find that, can't you, sir?
Well, yeah, I grew up right outside of Boston, and so if you ask me what Boston looked like during part of my childhood, and then the transformation, and a lot of that comes about, as you said, because of people believing, uniting, and then really it just comes down to getting people to get excited. I mean, I think one thing we have to do is we have to be champions and we have to be excited. I'm really excited that we have a Main Street program like we have in other cities across Alabama that's going to help continue the work of developing our downtown area. Experience Montgomery and the Chamber of doing a lot of work. We have a lot of big things coming up. We have a bowl game coming to town. We have Turkey Day Classic coming up. So so you have all these people that are, whether they're invested or working in this space. And, we talk a lot about downtown, and there are plenty of other places across the city that also need the same kind of championing. We just got done with a $10 million road project on Fairview. We need to be focusing on taking some of the dilapidated buildings over there and getting businesses in those areas. We got to hit the boulevard. We got to, go to other places in the city, but, downtown, of course, is our pulse.
And I don't mean to cut you off, sir. I want to use the Galleria for an example. The Galleria supposed to died out, according to the experts and the people who run from crime all the time, because the Galleria had some shooting back in the early 2000s. And me and my wife visited them last summer, man, and shoot, almost all the stores are open in the Galleria.
Yep. I mean, you got real dollars being invested in making this city a great place for people to live, place for people to work. And, I understand the concerns, and I hear those concerns. But I do think that as long as we are responding to those concerns, then I think, part of being in the city is interacting with the business community that's here.
And I would love people to hold their ground and take their city back.
Yeah.
All that negative talking about telling everybody, my family move, move if you want to move. But the people who's here, this is where they live, okay? So let's stick together and make it great.
Yeah.
Well, okay, make it the best we can.
Appreciate it, Duke.
Right.
I got other calls here, and I'm working on an idea, because there are some folks who left a long time ago, or they never even lived in Montgomery, and they like eating up negative stuff about our city. And I'm kind of tempted to say, hey, about 40, 50,000 y'all should move back.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
It would help.
Yeah. I mean, that's when you look at these neighborhoods and such, you look at communities and you're like, man, how is it that some of these places where now all of a sudden Irondale is like the next hot ticket in Birmingham after for decades, it's because you're getting people that are, finding opportunities, believing in an area, thinking an area is cool, has high quality of life. They want to be in those kind of places. And Montgomery has all of the assets to make that possible all across the city, not just downtown.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Sandy.
Hey, Sandy.
Hey, Sandy.
Hey, buddies. First of all, Andrew, I want to thank you for representing our district, my district, and what a wonderful job you're doing. And I do appreciate your encouraging attitude and your upbeat thoughts. Okay. I contacted you about that flag I found on the sidewalk downtown.
Yes.
I need to get with you and bring that to you.
Yep.
See what we can do about it.
Yes.
Joey doesn't know about that. Greg did, but and got the pictures and all. But
okay.
I still have it. So what do you suggest?
Suggesting for
me to bring it to you and.
We just have to find some time in the chaos of the holidays for us to meet up at the Hilltop so I can get it back, and then I can turn it over so that we can have it properly handled from here on out. I honestly not exactly sure who at the city I directly go to, but we'll get that taken care of for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm happy to meet you at the hilltop, but I'd like to not just drop it off. I'd like you to be there.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I know. And I wish I.
And what happened here?
There was Sandy contacted me because she had found an American flag that was on the ground, and so she had gathered it up, which was wonderful. And I have just been doing a bad job about connecting with her to get it back from her so we can turn it over to the city.
I'm busy too.
No, I got you.
Well,
I
thank you
appreciate
for
it.
that, Sandy. Thank you a lot.
Oh, I was just appalled. I stopped at a red light, and it was on the curb, on the corner, 2 blocks in front of our Capitol on Dexter, and it was in a pile of like barricades that they would put up for a parade on the sidewalk. And I stopped at the red light. I didn't care who else was coming or going. I retrieved my flag. I'm very fussy about my flag.
Good.
And anyway, I was serious.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Well,
So you have my info, Andrew. So if you would just let me know, I'll run.
Yes. Yeah, we'll get that done, and I'll get that from you, and we'll get that properly handled. And I appreciate you taking the time to do that. I mean, that's like when I see people walking and picking up trash. Like it is comforting, and sometimes you hear all the negatives, but you have good citizens who just care about having a decent city, and we appreciate that.
Thank you, Sandy.
I pick up trash too.
Thank you. God bless. Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, it's Mark Cumby.
Hey, Mark.
Just real quick. My wife works downtown, and she's always needing things. Is there any possibility of a small grocery store coming downtown? And also, how are the renovations at Chris's Hot Dogs going since they have new owners? And I'll hang up with. Thank you.
Well, that's a great question. I'm very excited about this. The new owners at Chris's Hot Dogs, they're local. I don't know what the progress of their renovations are, but I know that they are going to be in character with what Chris's has always represented. And I know when I first moved here, it was one of the first people I met was like, okay, we got to take you to Chris's Hot Dogs. So it's like kind of like just your welcome gift basket, a hot dog. The other question was grocery store. I don't know about a grocery store coming downtown. One of the things that is a bit of a challenge when you talk to, and I don't really know very well. We have a wonderful community and economic development department. Frank Robinson, who came down from Philadelphia, is doing an excellent job in a lot of areas of retail recruitment. It's just a density issue. And I've said from back when I was campaigning, we need more residential density in areas where we want to have commercial footprints. And when you have technically the ability to drive to Publix from downtown in about 12 minutes, when you're about to drive to what was Winn-Dixie, which is about to be this brand new, amazing Aldi in District 7 in the Cloverdale area in under 9 or 10 minutes. I think there's just a question about what kind of grocery store needs to go down there. Birmingham didn't have a grocery store in downtown until 3 years ago, when the Publix opened up, that I know of. Now someone's going to call and correct me probably, but I never seen a grocery store. And they've got this fabulous grocery store that's got parking deck on top of the grocery store, and then like 6 layers of residential units on top of that. So I'm hoping from the good things that we're hearing about some of the recruitment we're having, getting some more of that kind of footprint in the downtown area. I know people say it's critical. I guess it's kind of a chicken or the egg thing. What do you need first, the residents or the grocery store?
Yeah, there's been talk of this for a while, but I think you're right. Let's get the residents down there, and I think we'll attract it. Let's go to line 1. This will be the last call. You're on there. Who's this?
Charles Purse. Hey, Joey. Hey, Councilman.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Well, I wanted to ask about something that I've been on the radio kind of suggesting here, is that money's come to the city of Montgomery, like the Bernie Grant. Are you familiar with the Edward Bernie Grant for violent crime?
Not specifically, no. But it sounds
okay. So lots of federal money comes to Montgomery via the Ken Boswell at DECA. He gets to choose, and it's based upon the violent crime in the city as to how much you get. Have you got me?
Mm-hmm.
And some of this goes to your police department, some of it goes to the boys and girls, whatever, and different initiatives that you have there to lower the violent crime. Got me?
Yeah.
Now, the prerequisite for getting this money is that you have a high crime rate. In other words, there's no incentive for the city of Montgomery to do any better. They won't get that money. And I've suggested that Kay Ivey tell Ken Boswell that monies won't get out unless there's a 12% reduction in violent crime over the previous year. Now, I just wondered what you thought of my idea, and am I incorrect in any of my thinking there?
Well, I guess I guess what you're proposing is that you see some kind of reduction in violent crime in order to be eligible for some monies. I mean, I don't know if the suggestion is that we're artificially keeping crime rates high, because I would reject that. I mean, look, it's a challenge that we're in when it comes to the way that we talk about crime in our city. Do I think incentivizing police forces to reduce crime for dollars? I'll tell you what, the men and women on our police department are pretty well incentivized to reduce crime in this city, and they go out there every day with that intention. Okay, so I don't know how you would create that kind of incentive to do more, other than to try and find ways to artificially reduce those numbers, and whether that be through, I don't know what you would do to do that. So I get in general the idea that you would want to find ways to make monies available. I'm not 100% sure how that would necessarily work.
And Charles, I'm running out of time here. It's an interesting question. How do you incentivize like lowering things? But I think the incentive is already there.
I think the incentive is already here. I mean, our public safety outfits, whether it be police, fire, EMA, I mean, look, they're all busting their butts. They hear everything that is said. They know. Okay. We have great people in our police force. I mean, it's just amazing. And so I think the incentive is there because they're your neighbors. They own small businesses as side hustles. And it's not, we talk a lot about the police. I really hope we get back to talking about the pay raise issue that was brought up by the fire department, because look, we got to keep that ISO class 1 rating for them. We keep wanting to make sure that we're incentivizing and getting more 911 operators and emergency response people. And, from a public safety standpoint, all across the board, we want to see things. We want to see reductions in numbers, of course, but the people that are out there that are doing it every day, that incentive is already built into them. I mean, they're built different. Those are some special people out there.
Well, we are out of time here, and it's always great seeing you, and appreciate your time as always.
Have a wonderful holiday, everybody, and Thanksgiving. If you get the opportunity to come out to some of the things that are happening, definitely do so, and spend a little bit more money in Montgomery.
Here. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Get ready to fall into savings at Royal Furniture. Power reclining sofas from just $15 a month. Dining sets starting at $12 a month. And recliners from only $8 a month. Enjoy up to 60 months, no interest with no down payment at the time of purchase with approved credit. And get a free queen mattress with any in-stock bedroom set priced $9.99 or more. Incredible value and service are waiting for you at Royal Furniture in Prattville, Montgomery, Auburn, and 11 other locations across Alabama and Tennessee. All credit offers subject to credit approval. See store for details.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones. Talk to Michael Cohen from Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Good to hear. What's the score there today, Cohen?
Like 21-0.
Ooh.
Michael Jackson went out today, and
Went to install a nice turntable made by Yamaha, Integra receiver, some golden ear speakers. Getting that man set up. Got a service call for another customer with a projector and a screen. And so, yeah, he's rocking and rolling, getting everybody taken care of.
Well, I love hearing that. And folks, if you're looking for amazing products, but really it's the service that makes the huge difference, a true institution here in Montgomery, you got to work with Cohen's. Whether you're working on the electronics or the appliance side, they can help you. Maybe you want to build out a whole brand new kitchen. They got everything you could desire. Maybe you want to build a theater room, or it could be just want a great new piece of furniture to sit in. They got it all there at Cohen's, and you can always shop from home at thinkcohens.com. But I really encourage you to stop by the Boulevard, 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. Y'all still open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays?
9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. On Wednesday, we'll be open until 4. The day before Thanksgiving, and 8 to 3 next Friday and Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Friday and Saturday after Thanksgiving. Okay, awesome. Well, folks, y'all get your shopping going, and I'll get by there. And well, there's a reason my whole family and so many others are return customers. You can learn that difference that Cohen's makes, and I always appreciate it, Michael.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
You
Help
too.
us let you make the right decision. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Again, that's Michael Cohen with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Final hour coming up.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump has said that Saudi Arabia plans to invest some $1 trillion in the U.S. economy, and there's evidence that's already coming true. The president says American and Saudi companies making new deals today already to boost investment at the U.S.-Saudi Investment Forum here in Washington. More than $250 billion of deals have already been inked. The Israeli military has carried out airstrikes in South Lebanon, targeting what it claims are Hezbollah's weapons storage facilities there. Israel claims Hezbollah is trying to reestablish its presence in the region. On Wall Street, it's been a mixed bag for much of the day. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was down, then it went back up. It's back down now by about 146 points. The Nasdaq doing better. It's up right now by 25. The S&P 500 has been struggling, but right now it's right at about even. This is SRN News.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-762-6565. That's 800-762-6565.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. It's more than just great prices on lumber. From Trex decking to energy-efficient windows and Tamco shingles, Alabama Wholesale Lumber has it all.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We're going to be flirting with record highs. Here we are deep into the month of November, with today mostly sunny and a high temperature today and tomorrow, really in the low 80s. Lows at night in the upper 50s. The record for tomorrow, 81, 1905, is in jeopardy. Then scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast Friday night into part of the day Saturday. We need the raindrops, obviously. High near 80 Friday and Saturday. Dry Sunday with a high around 74. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
1819 News.
U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville believes there's going to be a need for a bigger jail once the Jeffrey Epstein documents are made public. Senator Tuberville spoke about it on the Benny Johnson podcast this week.
These people are definitely criminals. Anybody to have anything to do with young kids, we put them in jail, we throw the key away. I don't care who it is. It's time to get this mess over with and let people know you're going to pay the price for doing something like this. So, it's going to blow up. Larry Summers, right off the bat, I don't know who else it's going to be. I have no clue, but I'm anxious, like everybody else, to hear about the transparency that President Trump offered up during his campaign. And here it comes, and I'm looking forward to it. Some people are going to have a very, very tough holiday season, and they should.
I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Are you enjoying 1819 News? If so, consider joining 1819 News as a member. As a nonprofit news organization, we depend on the support of Alabamians like you. Memberships start out as little as $5 a month, and you'll get access to exclusive content only offered to our members. You'll be supporting independent journalism done by people who cherish Alabama values. Become a member today by visiting 1819news.com and clicking Become a Member. That's 1819news.com and click Become a Member today.
A judge has given a Prattville man a sentence of 965 years in prison after that man was convicted of 84 counts of sexual crimes against children. Jason Hudson was found guilty by a jury this past October. His victims involved children as young as 18 months old. Prosecutors wished that the death penalty was an option in this case against Hudson. However, the Child Predator Death Penalty Act has yet to be passed by the Alabama legislature. It is pre-filed for the upcoming 2026 session. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Pumpkin spice latte season. More like Prattville Carpet Fall sales season, when you can buy a square foot of tile, luxury vinyl plank, or carpet for way less than a coffee that tastes like a candle. I'm talking $1.39 a square foot. That's way cheaper than the big box stores. And Prattville will throw in friendly, helpful customer service for free. That's the big difference.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Call us today for your free measurement. Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
Shop the fall sale now at prattvillecarpet.com.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
Some nights, you just want great food and a place to unwind. Welcome to Jack's Tavern, where you get all the incredible flavors of Epicure in a laid-back tavern atmosphere. Perfectly grilled steaks, hand-breaded seafood, and pastas that put the chain restaurants to shame. Pair it with an extensive wine list or one of 58 beers on tap poured freakishly cold. Jack's Tavern opens at 5 Tuesday through Saturday. Good fun, good drinks, no rush, just relax and enjoy.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. In studio with me now, the one, the only, Troy Carrico. How you doing? I'm sorry, I turned on the wrong mic.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm all right. Life's good.
Oh yeah. It's not even been a week since we had our great night out and black tie affair. That was fun.
It was a revival feel over there, I have to say.
I wonder, Robin goes, what do you think Joey think? I go, I'm thinking, he's like, where's the exit at? Where did I get out of here? But I don't think so. I think you enjoyed yourself, didn't you?
No, I enjoyed myself.
Because you're not a big social huge gathering guy. I know that.
No, I'm usually not.
I
was fine. I know plenty of people have been on the show, politicians, other different folks who listen as well. It's a great opportunity to meet listeners and see folks I just hadn't seen in a while.
Yeah,
too.
your name got dropped several times. So,
oh
you know,
my,
you're pretty important to 1819 News operation. You're part of the linchpin there.
I don't know about that. I got one shout out from the stage. Like, let me give a speech. Then we'll have a rip roaring good time.
Oh my.
So I don't know if Trump signed the whole Epstein file release thing yet or not, but he said he will sign it.
Yes.
That should be coming. And again, I think the partisan politics around this is laughable. You hit the nail on the head off air. I was saying this yesterday because Mike Johnson, before this vote, the Speaker of the House was saying, and it betrays the principle of the agency that does the redactions of the classifications needs to be the agency that unredacts it. So you're telling me, Mike, that if the entire Congress of the United States, with maybe one exception of Clay Higgins, the Senate, the House, the president signs it, sends it to his attorney general, we must then defer to the CIA?
No.
Come on.
The way it works in standard classification programs in the government, I saw that too, and I thought, that's a complete wild card he threw. The way it works is whoever is the deriving authority of the report has the classification model and requisites, stamps it by their SSO, which is a special security officer for that agency. So if the FBI did the report, it would be a DOJ class. It doesn't, it stays inside that channel. It doesn't go, you just can't send it somewhere else for you know.
Well, and what I'm driving at is, say the CIA did something like awful, and they classified the awful thing they did, and people kind of and people catch wind of it. Sure. And again, this is the working theory that I prefer of Epstein, of what Jeffrey Epstein was and what he might represent. And maybe this is why Speaker Johnson, and you mentioned it off air, said that you put out the wrong things that could upset our political system.
Strange. What's good about that? This has been a mess. I mean,
so
you know.
I suspect Epstein is not like the origins is anybody's best guess.
Right.
But Epstein became a very valuable player in, let's say, the gray zone, if not the shadows. It's not just a compromising and blackmail thing, though. Maybe that's part of it. I think he has all sorts of ties to international arms sales.
He does.
He was very well versed in moving big amounts of money and hiding it.
Yes.
Right. So that's a very useful individual to intelligence services. Let's just
Absolutely. What he represents to an intelligence service as a source is bona fides in many different fields and wealth, personal wealth and power, which gives him placement and access to many people.
And I think there are plenty of people still doing that job in this world, and we don't know their names. I think what happened is two things. Maybe there's more factors I'm not aware of. But two clear factors to me is I think Epstein was the perfect, say, informant or source or asset in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, yeah.
And then the high profile kind of in plain sight doing this stuff. As soon as you start getting to the internet age where you can't control information, Epstein becomes a liability. Then the second thing, add to that, and I think this is what happened. Why was he convicted initially, even though he got the sweetheart deal?
Yeah.
I think he took sort of his impunity, or to use a James Bond term, license to kill.
Yeah.
And he abused that privilege.
His immunity, so to speak, as he said. Yeah.
They were like, come on, Jeffrey. Like, you really stop it with the young girls. And like at a certain point, it became like, this dude, like, he thinks he's untouchable because we've made him untouchable.
He's a predator. Yeah.
But, we're going to rein him in a little bit. And so I think it was a combination of he got too big for his britches, and you now have more and more eyeballs. It's the same thing think of the Me Too thing with Harvey Weinstein and all. Like, just the more you can have information out there, the stuff that would have worked in the 90s or the 80s or earlier back doesn't work anymore. They now have new sources and methods that we don't catch wind of.
He was a classic Cold War era source.
You think you have more experience around this world? I think I'm onto something.
Oh, I know you are. I'm telling you, I can tell you now, that guy, even though he may not have bona fides, as we say, in knowledge of nuclear proliferation or this, he has placement and access with people who do.
Yes.
And you use them as a conduit to get to them people.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out.
This is a poster child for deep state stuff.
Yeah. And again, just to reiterate, I think the biggest winner out of this is probably Thomas Massie.
Oh, yeah. And MTG, oddly enough. Yeah. They stayed the course.
And so we'll see if anything comes to pass. anything actually comes out that's big.
You know what, though? It's like Robin says to me. She goes, okay, that's great. Well, they're going to release it. But only what they want to release.
Right. And this is the, like, if imagine whatever, use your imagination, folks out there listening, the worst case scenario. Okay. If it's the worst case, it's what I've learned to call the Sidney Powell rule. Remember when Sidney Powell, right after the 2020 election came out, and talked about the Kraken?
Sure.
And how to the highest bidder, manipulating the votes through the voting machines. The elections are just completely fake.
Yeah.
And it's all this behind the scenes game.
Right.
And if it's something that big, let's assume what Sidney Powell said out loud in public is 100% true. The Kraken is real, folks. They're just buying and selling elections. Everything's rigged. All the numbers are fake. If that's true, if I was talking to Sidney Powell, I'd be, hey, Sidney, if that's true, shut the F up.
Right.
Because if it is true, what are you going to do about it? If they have that sort of power and authority.
I know.
So I think there are certain things where if it's such a big deal, it's one thing to be curious. It's one thing to want to know the truth. But then there's a certain level of these folks are not accountable.
Right.
That you're going to need more than like the idea is we're dealing with a transnational organization of folks who operate in the shadows who will kill and manipulate and exploit and lie and all this stuff. And the way we stop those folks is we vote about it. Oh, come on.
You know what's funny? As you're talking about this, it just occurred to me that yesterday I was down in Mobile and I presented some ideas on Veteran Nation. And the problem with any coherent resistance or any opposition to something like what we're discussing that's wrong is the congealing of these like-minded people. The problem is this. Let me ask you something. Suppose these files come out tomorrow, we get to read them, and there is a bunch of garbage in there about how they've manipulated voting and all this. Do you think America's going to be in uproar about it? No. Do you think Joe Sixpack down the streets going to start taking action inside our system? No,
I think Joe Sixpack's trying to figure out how to fry a turkey without.
That's what I'm trying to say to you, brother.
Yeah,
and he's got to worry about, hey, I got to work overtime on Sunday, so I got to tell my wife. And my thoughts are this: I think people assume there's all sorts of general mischief going on inside the government.
I think everybody's kind of looking at it, and that's not the only thing. Epstein's just one piece of, say, a larger puzzle.
He's a small piece.
Right.
He is a small piece to the deep state, but yeah.
Now, let's see who this is on line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, it's Clark.
Hey, Clark.
So the Uniparty unanimously decided to give the people that controlled the access control of what evidence gets released.
Mm-hmm.
The people that put the operation together now get to decide what gets released and what doesn't.
That's the standard principle in practice, according to Mike Johnson. He didn't like this recent thing because it didn't have that. It says it commands the Attorney General to release all of this in 30 days.
There is a process, Clark, though, that if enacted by one of the branches of government, that will put it before what's called a CIFA tribunal, which is again another shadowy organization within the DC realm that oversees intelligence releases and oversight. We're talking months, maybe years to get that done. So it's kind of I know where you're going. It doesn't look very good, does it, at face value?
No, it looks very bad. Now, here's the other thing. We're going to get the names of some Democrats, and we're going to get the names of some Republicans. But they're going to be selected names, and you got to wonder if the Uniparty unanimously voted on this, do they get to tell which of their politicians they'd like to see gone?
Yep.
Is this just going to be some Republicans that the Republican Party would like to be done with and some Democrats that the Democrat Party would like to be done with?
It's like a purge.
And it may not even be elected officials, obviously, because Epstein was tied in with
business figures,
finance figures, science,
sports
scientists,
figures,
sports figures. Yeah.
Well, you got to wonder how many facets, how many things in our lives are the way they are because of the influence that was exerted through this operation. Now, we know that, members of our executive branch were involved with Epstein. Cabinet members, Treasury Secretary, Congress people. I got to wonder if Supreme Court decisions have been influenced by the Epstein operation.
It's
Makes
quite
you
likely.
wonder at some point in time, is there pictures of somebody with an underage girl that had to change what the court said? I don't know. Maybe.
Very likely.
And yeah, like you say, financial institutions, science, who towed what line because of this?
It's a great question.
We're never going to know that because the people that did it get to control the evidence.
Man, you had one goat, and people never let you forget it.
Yeah, I don't feel better about my government because of this.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't. Yeah, you shouldn't.
Well, we'll see how it all
Keep
plays
doing
out.
what you do, and I'll keep listening till you do it.
Thank you, Clark.
We appreciate it.
Appreciate it, sir. 272-9228. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
This is Larry G.
Hey, Larry G. How are you?
Hey, Larry.
What's going on? What's going on, Clark?
No, just another day. Filling out this last hour, talking about how the government's corrupt and unaccountable and all that.
Yeah, the original Joey Clark. That's you, isn't it?
I suppose.
COG.
There might be some other Joseph Ray Clarks that have existed.
It's a pretty common name, I think.
Yeah, I bet you don't want to say hello to your guests. Here's the bottom line. People are getting it twisted. 80% of the Democrats in bed with Epstein. Everybody knows that. I've seen Jeffrey Olin. He got money.
Yep.
Going back to Bill and Hillary Clinton, they all got money. They thought maybe that they can sell to messed up President Trump. There's no wrong part on President Trump's part with Epstein. He kicked his butt out. The bottom line is simple. 80 to perhaps even 90 of the Democrats. They owe the man. They took money from him. So I don't know why people are getting this twist. It wasn't so much about sex. It was about MONEY, Joey, money. I just want to state
Always
that,
is.
man.
Always
I'll
is.
get with you later, man.
I appreciate it, Larry
He's
G.
spot
Good
on.
statement.
He's
Thanks,
spot
sir.
on. It's influence, man.
272-9228. It has royally backfired.
It doesn't look good all around for anybody except for Massie.
Thomas Massie. And seriously, I could see a Thomas Massie 2028 thing happening. Not in the sense of him winning, but in the sense of he gets 10, 15% of the vote in a primary.
He could be a very, very important kingmaker out of it. Yeah, could be.
Yeah, I think he is. He's looking really good right now, and he's probably the most. Maybe he competes with Rand Paul, principled people. You might disagree with his principles and want him to be more of a team player.
Yeah,
but that's one thing I've learned to really mature in politics and be brought into the fold. You have to transcend your principles.
You must.
In politics, what's that line from H.L. Mencken?
In politics, man must learn to rise above principle.
Yeah, all right.
Greater than, separate from, equal but separate.
Yeah, and some men sometimes get into the Congress and they never learn that lesson. They actually stick to their principles.
Hey, that doesn't work out very well, does it?
Usually it doesn't.
You know what? It's funny you say that. I would argue Tommy Tuberville's one of those people.
Who sticks to it?
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
And he's going to step out of that and come over onto the state side. So that's funny that you say it, but it's true in that regard.
Now, can we do a little bit of a palate cleanser here?
Do whatever you want. This is your show.
This is only a 2-minute and 24-second article right here from the New York Times.
Okay.
Hopefully it doesn't lock up on me.
Now, is the time accurate on this? The last time we did this, we were 15 minutes in. What
it
is going on here?
No, this story, I remember reporting on this story that the very first crime in space was committed by a woman.
That's right. I remember.
Yeah. All right.
I remember.
And I don't know why I got so excited about that. Well, it's my theory that the more women get power, the more they act like they're supposed to replace.
It's original sin. It
Yeah.
started on Earth here. It started in space there.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
But here, get
Hey,
this. This is the latest in that story.
Give it to me.
A former Air Force intelligence officer pleaded guilty last week to lying to law enforcement when she falsely accused her estranged wife, who was an astronaut, of illegally accessing her bank account from space.
Oh, yes. I remember.
Does this happen in lesbian marriages?
Apparently they're not.
lying.
Apparently their moral compasses are kind of off too. So
I don't know. It's hard enough, man and woman marriages.
Somebody did something wrong to one another.
And then you know, two gay guys, what? You're gonna have logical arguments,
Well, they
not
got a
bring
lot
up old crap.
They're usually very wealthy, so they might be trying to steal each other's money.
I can't imagine being married to a woman.
Really?
I find so many women very beautiful.
Yeah.
But I know.
She's making somebody miserable somewhere.
I know.
No, it's so bad that when you're in space, go with me for this. They're making crap up then.
Yeah.
Can't even be happy.
I am sure that women, I mean, I know how I am in a relationship. I have the best of intentions.
Everybody does.
But,
well, not everybody.
But I can just go off the rails in my own mind and then in real life in turn.
I think that's common.
That's common because we stay in our heads so much. And I just can't imagine being in a relationship with somebody who does the same exact thing and has the same tendencies.
Yeah.
You know, you strike me though.
reinforces it.
I don't know you very well, but I think I know you in passing well enough to know that you seem more of a you think things through. You seem logical and analytical, whereas most women are very emotional.
Oh no, I'm extremely emotional.
Okay, then I misread you. I misread you. All right. Then I'm going to steer clear of you.
You should really.
Well, I'm not scared of you. I just don't. I don't.
No, if you keep psychoanalyzing her, you might wake the beast.
I actually like
listen,
Pam. I actually like Pam.
But I know so much about psychology and my own and others, and I'm extremely empathetic.
To a
but
point
I'm
of almost
also
detriment.
intelligent.
Yeah.
It just. But I have had so much trauma.
I got you. It shaped you in
that
a way.
that I have to constantly work through it.
So there's a joke, and you know what I'm about to say. She's deployed in space. Her other spouse is doing something bad while they're deployed. You've been deployed, and it's like,
yeah,
ain't nothing you can do about it. And then it starts to eat at you, and then now
You act out of fear.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. That's
So
what's happened here.
The woman who lied about this is named Summer Heather Warden, 50 years old, faces up to 5 years in prison and up to a $250,000 fine. It's the end of a years-long bitter legal dispute between Miss Warden and a decorated intelligence officer in the Air Force, Ann McClain, a West Point graduate and U.S. Army colonel who joined NASA in 2013. Miss Warden's allegations, which she made in 2019 while Colonel McClain was on the International Space Station, were the first allegation of a crime in space. Miss Warden accused Colonel McClain of guessing her password to illegally access her bank account from space in January 2019, a claim that sparked inquiries from the Federal Trade Commission and NASA's Inspector General. Federal investigators later found that Miss Warden had in fact given Colonel McClain access to her account since 2015 as part of the couple's intertwined finances.
Well, when you think she is in space, she's got to give her spouse power of attorney.
Well, you
I mean, that's what deployed people have to do.
You're supposed to, but and here's the other thing, though. I think that she was accessing a bank account to see what she was doing when she was going. She was doing reverse intel on her. So she was kind of suspicious about something, jealous of something. Who are you going to have dinner with? And seriously, that's what was going on there. It's
I'm
like,
sure.
remember, one intel officer to another. And I bet you if we check out that astronaut, I'd like to see her bio, the one that we're talking about. Wonder if she was a commander of this. She sounds like there's an age difference between one's a colonel, one's a captain. I think she's a.
Oh, well,
do you see where I'm going with this?
Which one was 50?
The one who
astronaut.
lied. No, the one who lied.
Okay.
I don't know how old.
Well, maybe
Colonel
we're
McClain
off on that,
is.
but I'm just curious if there was some subordinate, superior relationship, and then they got together. I don't know. I'm just saying, oh, the tangled web we weave, right?
Yeah, Colonel Ann McClain put out this statement saying Miss Warden intentionally and with full knowledge of the truth presented a story to federal investigators to the media with the intention of harm. From the outset, there was no evidence supporting her claims, and overwhelming evidence disproves them. As I continue my public service, I remain committed to the values that have defined my career and which held up under the closest scrutiny. An aviator with more than 2,000 flight hours. Colonel Ann McClain returned to the space station in March 2025 as a commander of NASA's SpaceX Crew 10 mission. She returned to Earth in August. Miss Warden will be sentenced on February 12th 2026.
You know what's funny about that? There's very few Army astronauts. It's a very, very small group, okay? Because when they say aviator, she's a rotor head. She's not, that we don't have fixed wing in the Army. So she was a handpicked, and she was given command of that mission, which is kind of interesting.
And so also, just to be clear, the woman who's now being charged, Summer Heather Warden, she's a decorated intelligence officer in the Air Force.
Right, yeah.
Okay, man.
Oh, the tangled web.
That is just, that's just too rich.
That warms
like,
my
you
heart.
can't even, can you imagine being up there on the International Space Station and like this crap's coming out?
So what's up with astronauts? Do you remember the girl about 10
Yes.
years ago? You know where I'm
Who
going
wore
with
the
this.
diaper across country?
And the
I
taser and the tape. And
I
the-
think that
bind him up.
I think that
I love
I
it.
heard about
Crazy.
this original story and somebody segued into
man,
that
I'm telling
other
you.
story
I-
because
I
that
was-
was so insane and that was a love triangle.
She drove from San Diego to Cape Canaveral to get him. Or Houston, to Houston.
Well, maybe
She had a BB gun too.
maybe a little time in space. You end up, what does the song say? Major Tom's a junkie. I
No,
got to hit this
no,
break.
Ashes to ashes, but funk to funky.
Yeah, we all know Major
Yeah.
Tom's a junkie.
Well, I know, but maybe he's just he's
Strung out on heaven's side.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. And then the second one, the redo to it was good.
Anyway, we'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Want that ride that is fun, affordable, and street legal? Check out ETG Outdoors in Montgomery. They have huge discounts on electric golf carts with many brand new units under 10 grand. New and used inventory, financing available, and they service what they sell. ETG Outdoors even provides lithium battery conversions and free delivery with purchase. Whether it's for the neighborhood, the farm, or just fun, ETG Outdoors, 7006 Vaughn Road, or online at etgoutdoors.com. Cruise smarter, drive electric. ETG Outdoors. Your ride to freedom starts here.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Three-time Grammy-nominated blues rock superstar Joe Bonamassa is coming to the Montgomery Performing Arts Center on November 30th. And News Talk 93.1 has your tickets to the show. Be listening to Greg, Rich, and Jay in the morning for your chance to win. It's Joe Bonamassa live at the Montgomery Performing Arts Center on November 30th from News Talk 93.1.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Billy Clark.
Welcome back. Quick segment here But first, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services, and their Pest Pro Ashley and that great team are ready to help you in these fall and winter months with wildlife control. Of course, you should already be signed up for their great pest control services. But with the cooler weather coming in, those little critters are going to try to find a warm spot. God forbid a squirrel gets in there, a raccoon, or
bird, like I had.
Yeah,
I almost had to call him. My wife took to action, but yeah, they got it. They're experts in wildlife.
So what they'll do is they'll do detailed inspections to find entry points and activity areas, exclusion work to seal off those access areas and prevent re-entry, and they're going to do follow-up checks to ensure long-term results. Of course, if there's already something in there, mouse, squirrel, whatever, they'll get it out of there, and they'll even do a whole inspection assessment of the surrounding conditions, make sure you're not attracting certain things you didn't know you were even doing.
Don't they have a maintenance plan they're doing now where it's like every month they come out and
it's
just
a
do their
subscription.
checks?
And you can add to it. It starts with basic pest control. You got termite. You can have mosquitoes at the right time of the year. You can add wildlife control. It's a great way to control costs over the years. So y'all check out Pest Pro Services today. You can always learn more at ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces or just call them direct at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. If you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey and Troy and Pamela, those folks on the radio, sent you. Real quick, I want to read through this. This is from the Daily Mail, that rag.
I love that one.
I do too.
They are, the Brits are so,
there's always something good in there.
Now, hopefully, y'all, anyway, I've been sitting on the store for a second, but a Texas Democrat lawmaker named James Tallarico.
That's like Carico.
Carico, man, he's Puerto Rican.
Tallarico.
But he's 36, so he's my age. And he's a seminarian. And state house member there in Texas.
Okay.
And, devout Christian and stuff. Well, he's been exposed for following several porn stars, prostitutes, and OnlyFans model on his Instagram page.
I've heard about that.
Oh, the sins of the flesh.
Yeah.
The 4-term state representative who's running for U.S. Senate is a Presbyterian seminarian who has made his Christian faith a key aspect of his political aspirations. Tallarico follows about 3,700 users on the gram, including a handful of women who share explicit or suggestive content while linking to adult-oriented websites. Now, you know what? I'm of that age. I'm 36. I know what's been thrown at them. You got to clear out your algorithm, bro.
They keep coming back to you, too, don't they?
You got to
Joey.
You got to tell them no. You got to tell them no.
You pause on one thing.
Yep. You tell them no.
And it's like, okay.
I'm now gotten to like, I don't want to see it.
I have showed you my Instagram.
I know.
The search or like the explore page.
Yeah.
Mine.
Right. I want to delete
that. People, I can imagine.
It's
but you're scrolling, and then there's that really good-looking, cute chick. She's doing a joke, but she's also like,
look at this.
Hot. Yeah, that's yours.
That's mine.
Holy crap!
Let's see. Outstanding.
I know.
Outstanding.
Can you only imagine what they're trying to throw at my way?
That's mine.
But dude, if you're running for Congress,
think that's appealing to you. I mean, there's just
they look at my pictures and say we're going to feed her.
Feed her garbage.
Like, what is he doing? Like, what is he doing? It's a seminarian, not a seminarian. What is wrong with you?
Well, you know what he's doing? He's doing what Roger Daltrey did with child porn. He's just doing research on it.
Oh, sure. But the report said that earlier this year he had actively liked. So it wasn't just following. He had actively liked multiple photos of an Austin Instagram account holder who has an OnlyFans and a page on an escort website.
An escort website.
The looking, whatever. You're going to see stuff on the internet.
Yeah. Sure.
But if you actively like it,
they're coming after you, dude. They attach you like a demon.
Or is he married?
I don't know.
To the body of Christ. He's married to the church.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here, you want to see a picture of the guy?
Yeah, let's see him.
All right, here. Let me hold it up to the.
Let's see if he's like a.
Oh.
He's the kind of guy that would fall for anything a girl would tell him. Like, I'm going to do something very special for you if you donate to
he
my
has
account.
that girlfriend.
And do you want to see one of the ladies that he's following?
Let's take a look.
Okay, let me put this in portrait mode so we get the full.
I love the Daily Mail.
Man, those things are hanging out, baby.
Thanks for the memories.
That's one of the people he liked and followed.
I think she's on my Instagram.
She's known as Honky Tonk Angel.
Honky Tonk
She probably
Angel.
is. I would have to bet.
Yeah, that lingerie's from Walmart. I know it.
Now, they had a spokesperson come out and his spokesperson, JT Ennis. Hey, JT, put this fire out. JT. He explained why the Texas Democrat followed the women and said that Tellerico was not the only person using the account. Oh, sure.
Always.
The social media team, including James, follows back and engages with supporters who have large followings. It does not investigate their backgrounds. He added, James has never subscribed to OnlyFans or an escort service. While James was unaware of how these women make money, he does not judge them for it and will not play into an effort to smear them for clickbait articles. That's exactly what his Christian faith calls him to do.
He's going to pray for them.
Wait, it's not Christian to shame the whores?
I'm there to help them. I go out to the least of them, is what Christ commanded me to do.
You shame the Johns, though?
Yeah, you could do that if you want to. What about our pimp down here at the public housing unit?
That was 20 years ago.
I'm sure he's changed.
No, but he didn't get through, by the way.
I didn't think he would.
Yeah. Anyway, and it honestly didn't have that much to do with the old path. Anyway, I don't really buy this excuse. Somebody else was using the account.
That's what, listen, blame a staff member on an intern, somebody that does social media. Well, somebody's been browsing why I've, under my name.
Well, and I've been thinking about writing more songs, especially like ones that are really on the nose, maybe joke songs. And this guy, especially given he's a seminarian, should have probably heard this one. Stop playing with your penis. Give your life to Jesus.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
And I'm Madeline Cannon, and we have some exciting news to share with you. We've been serving the state of Alabama for many, many years, and now we are able and ready to offer the same great mortgage financing in Georgia and Florida as well.
Our company may be Alabama Home Mortgage, but now we can finance your Georgia home mortgage and your Florida home mortgage too. We couldn't be more excited to extend our customer base to our neighboring states. For years, we have had customers call us in hopes we could assist them with purchasing their vacation cabin in North Georgia or their dream home in Florida. And now we can. For those of you who have family and friends that live in Florida and Georgia, be sure to tell them the good news.
Whether you are looking to purchase or refinance a home located in Alabama, Georgia, or Florida, you owe it to yourself to give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time.
It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector. That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig? No, but it looks like you do. And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich? What's that? I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man. You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist? That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE. You know, I've heard a lot of good things about David Ernest. You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience. Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold. That's right, man. And I can see that you don't have very much experience. What do you mean, man? Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach. Yeah, man. Well, I want to start out small and then kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich. Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first. You think he's got a shovel? Never know till you ask. I dig, man.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillip Shinbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillip Shinbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Not only are the days warm and near record highs, but the nights are moderating as well. Partly cloudy tonight, overnight low temperature in the upper 50s. Then for tomorrow, Thursday, the record high is 81. I think that record could fall. Mostly sunny skies tomorrow, and then scattered showers and thunderstorms holding off till Friday night into Saturday. Boy, we need the raindrops desperately. We'll be near 80 on Friday and Saturday, and I think a dry day Sunday with a high around 74. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Ready to borrow smarter this season? Apply online in minutes at yourasecu.com. Call 334-270-9011 or visit your local branch today.
ASD Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASD.
Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Welcome back. So far it's been a pretty good day, and it's good to have friends here in the studio with me. Now I want to share this moment because often if I bring up the Bitcoin thing and people are like, oh no, number went down. I'm like, yeah.
So
number goes down all the time.
Time to buy.
Exactly. And people are like, well, that's why I've got gold. And cool,
yeah,
if you want to, gold's not bad. Gold's historically a pretty good thing. But there's a new young kid on the block named Jack Mallers. His company, I think it's 21 investment or something to that effect.
Okay.
And he did a debate a little while back with Peter Schiff, who is like Mr. Gold all day, every day.
Precious metal man.
And he's very much Peter Schiff. It's become a meme, like old man yells at Bitcoin, where Peter has been astoundingly wrong on his future predictions of Bitcoin. And I like Peter Schiff, don't get me wrong.
He should stick to gold, shouldn't he?
Right. Well, but this was a debate between Jack Mallers and Peter Schiff about Bitcoin and gold and which is better store of value and money and all this other stuff. So let's listen in. This is Mallers' kind of big takedown, and just want to share it with all you gold bugs out there.
The real problem with gold is that, unfortunately, it has to centralize. The problem is that gold can't achieve transaction finality without the help of a government or a central party.
Correct.
Meaning that when gold was operating in a local economy and you can exchange the physical coins with your direct counterpart or your butcher, your local tailor, your grocer, whoever you were exchanging with, gold was great. When the world needed to scale an economy and the velocity of money larger than your local economy, gold failed us. Gold failed us because gold is just a bare physical metal. It does not carry a monetary network. What's the gold network? The gold network are human beings. And when you're trying to transact in an economy of billions of people globally, you are reliant on central parties, banks, governments. And it was for that reason that gold failed. And it failed in a way that you can't operate a truly free market when the concentrated supply is with those that you have to trust. And so that's fundamentally what Bitcoin solved, is that you are able to create a scarce bearer instrument and a network that can achieve finality in transactional settlement without the reliance on any government or central party. So that, I think, is extremely, that's really the core issue of why gold's been demonetized since. I think on the points of Bitcoin like needing more history and it's young, I mean, I think that sounds like a personal problem for you, Peter. Like that, I think you need more evidence, and that's you being slow to recognize reality, right? Like if you were to need the internet to prove that email is better than traditional mail, you would just be late to adopting better technology. That doesn't sound like, that's not a point or a criticism against the properties that Bitcoin has. That's your own personal bias of how much proof that you need to adopt something that might be superior. So that's on you. And the last thing I will say on Bitcoin's volatility, you know, for the listeners, I really think it's an important fundamental point. Risk is not the same thing as volatility. Risk refers to the probability of a permanent loss of capital. Risk would be that the Bitcoin code or the Bitcoin network outright fails.
Yeah.
You can make an argument that Bitcoin's actually the least risky asset ever because it's the only asset you can store in your head. Bitcoin is, however, extremely volatile. And I will admit that, but that's a pro.
Speculation.
Volatility is the frequency or like the magnitude of which the price fluctuates. And so Bitcoin, hold on. I'm almost done. I promise 30 seconds. The point here, David, is that Bitcoin has to be volatile because the asset is inelastic. Because the asset cannot, with more demand in Bitcoin, you cannot make more supply. More demand has to fundamentally be a higher price.
Right.
Whereas for all other commodities and all other assets, with more supply, you can make more demand, which makes them less volatile, but also makes them, I mean, I just went over the returns in the data, which also makes the returns not nearly what we're seeing in Bitcoin. So Bitcoin volatility is baked into the system because it's a fixed asset. So as it becomes adopted as a money globally, volatility is implied, but volatility is also the only reason that Bitcoin's averaging 100% year over year growth over the last decade, and gold's at 2%. So, and volatility is not risk. Because Bitcoin's volatile, it doesn't make it risky. It makes it an opportunity.
And there are a lot of people that have been running with that. And you get a glimpse of a young kid. He's younger than me.
He's quite bright. Yeah.
Who's putting a lot on the line. And it's just, it's fascinating to see this digital economy built before us.
So a couple of things about gold that you may find interesting. I used to work for the United States Mint as a deputy CIO, and I was in charge of West Point, San Francisco, Philadelphia, who am I missing? Fort Knox, and there's one other I'm missing. Anyways, I said San Francisco. Yeah, San Francisco. Anyways, Denver. I'm sorry, Denver. So, but we didn't. They had their own internal network. But I had to go twice to Fort Knox and do inventory on equipment. So I got to go through the process. Here's something interesting. All the gold in the world that we have known quantity that is not mined could fit inside a football field and be stacked no more than 8 feet high.
Oh,
that's how much limited access of real pure 24 karat gold there is. Okay. Now that's why they dumb it down a little bit to 18, 10 karat. But the point I'm making is there's a known reserve right now, but it's Bitcoin, like he said, has really a tight niche on it where it doesn't grow. It drives price up.
There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin.
That's right. And then the other thing I was going to say is this: all the gold that's in Fort Knox, I'm going to go ahead and do a spoiler alert for you. We store almost 50% of the world's gold that are in reserves for other nations for them at Fort Knox. They trust only us to handle that.
Oh yeah, and don't get me wrong, gold still plays a big role in the sense that central banks are still buying it like crazy and holding it like crazy. But yeah, I think Bitcoin, there's a reason you're seeing this boom around it. And as much as it is volatile and you're seeing a downward price movement in the last month, this is not something that, unless you're really good at it and sophisticated, day trading is the dumbest thing on this thing.
Absolutely it is.
Because of the volatility. But if you think of it like buy some, put $100 away, $2,000 away, think of it as like a 5-year or 10-year investment.
You know, what's funny too, he said something very powerful. The problem with gold is it requires a central conduit from government or sovereign kind of entities to do it, whereas DeFi, decentralized finance, really avoids all that.
So the governments are going to try to find a way.
They are. You know they're going to get their play.
Anyway, we got to hit this break. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Experience the magic of the holiday season with a cruise down the Alabama River on the Harriet II, the finest entertainment spot in the river region. Take in the stunning skyline and enjoy the sights and sounds with friends and family. Book your holiday cruise today at funinmontgomery.com. Your holiday will be magical when you cruise the Alabama River on the Harriet II, the best place to entertain your coworkers, friends, and family. The stunning skyline and the sights and sounds will make your party the best. Book your holiday cruise today at funinmontgomery.com.
Hi, this is Don Duncan with Don Duncan's All-American Automotive and Tire. Just want to say a big thank you to Blue Water Broadcasting. They've been a big partner in our success. And again, thank you guys so much for all you've done for us. If you need anything, come see us. Again, this is Don Duncan with All-American Auto and Tire.
Did you know that radio is the #1 reach platform in all of media? It's true. Call us to find out how to put radio's #1 reach to work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks, helping local business.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Well, I'm good. I had to make a confession. I've been in the office most of the afternoon, so I don't know what we've been talking about on the radio.
All sorts of stuff. I talked to Andrew Dismantling, city councilman here. He seems to be doing all right. Talked to Jeff Ford at the beginning of the show about the whole Epstein thing. And we brought up, you remember the lesbian wife that accused her lesbian, I guess, other wife up when she was at the International Space Station of committing a crime in space? Well, it turns out she made it up. Who would have thunk it?
Who never thought that would happen? They make something up. Never.
Yeah. Anyway, we've been all over the place.
Hey, is the councilman still in the studio?
No, he is not.
Oh, I like asking them. There's my favorite question, Joe, is what do you do about barking dogs? How do you handle that when you get that complaint?
That's right.
Open the gate.
Open the gate.
Run off.
Open the gate is the best advice I can give to any city council person.
That's funny.
And anybody who's on the city council that's hearing me right now is laughing because you know you've got that complaint before. And that's the worst thing to get because there's no real way to handle that complaint.
I'll pass that along to Andrew.
Yeah. But if you do have pets and they do bark and you have to keep them inside at night, because I have a barking dog that every night, come on in. We do have pet-friendly floors all day long that will stand up to your pet.
Okay.
They're absolutely gorgeous. They wear really, really well. Come with the best warranties, best installation. But you can get all of this just with the phone call, 285-8117.
Really is as simple as calling them up direct there at Prattville Carpet, 285-8117. And be sure to tell them you heard Ray Bowles on the radio with that Joey Clark fella.
Y'all have a great afternoon.
You too, Ray.
Yep.
So did we learn anything in this last hour? I guess we reviewed it with Ray Bowles there for a second.
We did. Robin is very suspect. She's one of those anti.
Your wife?
Yeah. So
yeah. Doesn't like the Bitcoin crypto thing.
Yeah, she said that just because we talk fast and use big words doesn't mean that we know what we're talking about. She said so.
Well, I know I've made a lot of money, so
she does. She is fine. Just the world's flat. The world's flat. Robin.
No, and also I remember when this was being covered by like anarchist libertarians and crypto, cryptography.
Yeah,
bros.
it was like some dark.
Like it was like not a very it was like mainstream thing.
It was seedy and kind of dark web.
No, and I tried to tell family members, y'all should invest like 10 grand in this. It'd be chump change for y'all. Like I got an investment banker in the family. Like, my dad, my grandfather was like, we'll be very,
we'll keep an eye on it, but we're not too.
And I used to argue all the theoretical stuff, like how can you have a fixed supply and they didn't listen. And
they said behind your back, they go, youth, hope springs eternal.
Yeah. He's trying to get rich quick. Well, yeah, but also I think I'm also right about this.
I think you're all right about it.
We'll see though.
Yeah.
It could be, if I'm wrong about this, I ain't the one who's going to take the biggest loss.
Do you think that hooker do you think that since we talked about pimping lately, that hooker that young master Biden wanted to give crypto to probably wishes she would have took that Bitcoin now? Because that was about
the Russian
8 years ago, 10 years ago. It would have been worth a lot of money probably now. Here's one Bitcoin.
Actually, I think they prefer the term lady of the evening.
Do they?
That's what the one in Atlanta told me.
Really?
Have y'all heard that story?
Yeah.
I was at a conference and I was, staying at the hotel. We're at the hotel bar. So I'm in my cups a little bit. And they're deciding, the couple I was hanging out with, I'm retired. We're going up to the room.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm going to finish this drink. And I go out on the balcony outside the bar and there's this woman out there and she walks over and she goes, would you like to have some fun?
Some fun?
And I said, sure. Yeah. I like fun and all stuff. And she goes, you do know I'm a lady of the evening. And I go,
a vampire.
And my response was, you do know I'm very, very poor.
And I went upstairs without her.
It's like the ones I had in Dubai who said, "Okay, I'll do it for free." And I go, "Look, I've got a venereal disease. Get away from me."
Yeah, no,
I got one
good,
too. What have you got?
You don't have to be like a true just no adultery, no fornication, none of this before. Like you could just be like, if I'm going to get VD, it's going to be with somebody I love, not just some stranger.
True that.
And well, actually, that doesn't quite work either.
That's very morally upright of you to say
Yeah,
that.
right.
Oh boy.
No, that's literally how it went. Like, you do know I'm a lady of the evening. I'm like, okay, interesting. Man.
A vampire.
All right. Where are you from? New
Yeah.
Jersey. Oh, no.
Transylvania.
Oh, no. New Jersey. Oh,
Jersey.
no. Oh, God.
Hmm.
I feel like I need to take a shower now.
So what happened? Did you retire? Did you leave?
I did
Okay, let's
not
make
go
it
down
short.
that road. Good
He
God.
said, "I'm a man of an empty wallet," and
That's
walked
right.
away.
Yeah,
She said,
no,
"Well,
thank you."
I got a big heart."
And then
she
when I
said.
walked inside, she was hitting up other dudes sitting at the bar. I'm like, oh, no. Well, she's got to earn her dollar.
She that was her area. That's where she worked.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there was that. And did Trump sign the Epstein thing yet?
Yeah, I've not seen. I've been keeping an eye on it. I don't see it.
And
yet.
by the way, there's this whole thing where it's like, I think if we're partisan enough,
yeah,
you end up a little retarded because it's like the Democrats are trying to do this and our Republicans are trying to shut up all of you. You're all retarded. How about we just have the truth instead of it constantly being an angling for position and status and who's in the
I'm sick of all of them.
There are moments for that, but dadgummit.
Clark said it best. It's a uniparty. They're all bad.
Yeah. I think that's
Go look at their go look at their investment portfolios. That's all you need to do, and you'll know they're all together.
And by the way, if you're in seminary and you're running for U.S. Senate, delete your social media history.
Make sure your interns are being responsible with your account.
And by the way, all you old boomer men that follow me, because you listen and I appreciate that, but all you boomer cons, stop friending the good-looking gal with no friends on Facebook.
They don't
Stop
say
it.
Or followers on X.
Stop it. Like, please, yes. Anyway, it's all, they're just trying to rope you in.
The Asian mafia is controlling X, man. I'm telling you.
You think it's the Asian mafia?
Look at them. All of them are like Malaysian and Indonesian looking girls, but their name's Annie LaBelle. And she looks like she's from Prayasada, Thailand, you know?
No, seriously, there are moments where I'm like, are we the good guys? When I see a lot of the stuff happening in the United States of America. Yeah. Anyway, on that dirty note, we'll be back tomorrow. Greg and Pamela and the whole team, the whole gang. There next. Y'all stay tuned.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump says foreign firms must be allowed to bring international workers to help build U.S. factories and train American workers. He's pushing back on criticism from some inside his Republican base. He also notes that Saudi Arabia is now committed to invest some $1 trillion in projects inside the U.S. The president speaking today at the U.S.-Saudi Investment Forum, attended by some of the highest-profile executives in tech and beyond. Awaiting a signature now from President Trump, Congress yesterday easily voting to release all of the government files on the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. AAA says it will be a busy travel year for Thanksgiving. Some 82 million Americans are set to travel for the holiday. That's a new record, about 1.6 million more than those who made the trip last year. AAA says the majority will hit the roads. Some 6 million plan to fly. This is SRN News.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-0141. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+